the bugs. Yum, yum. Adrenochrome so good. Population control. Jawohl, jawohl, jawohl. Thank you for your sacrifice. I despise you. Adrenochrome so good. New World Order, New World Order. Population control. Yum, yum. You will eat the bugs. We need a great reset. Jawohl, jawohl, jawohl. You will own nothing and be happy.
Ha-ha! Spider-Man! What's cracking, baby? Woo! Hey! Where you going, Spider-Man? Woo-hoo! Ha! You're getting the girl. Saving the day. Yeah! Go, Spider-Man!
If they're into computer stuff, go to the one place that has it all, like Spider-Man, the computer game. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
Go get him, Spider-Man! Yeah!
We're gonna reclaim getting pegged.
Boring. Yeah.
We're gonna reclaim being cocked from the woke left, buddy. Trod polycules rise.
Sorry, we're on full fentanyl now. You die, America. Friends like, you die, Americans. Africa too. It's China's property. Oh, we tell you to lock down. You starve to death. You scared of virus, but you starve to death. Chapang chang wanga hakangi pong. Chamangi wanga wanga katonga pato. Starve America. Starve Europe too. Kill the Africans, kill them all. Chaping chang wang chang pang chang yong. Pong chang wang wang dong dong dong. We found the Antifa Maoist group. Ha 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 ha. We love Hillary too. It's so damn fun. You're so damn scared. Wear your mask and prepare to die. Chang wang chang chang pong chang yi. Dong dong long bong bong geeky. We love LeBron James. He's so good. Death camps, organs of students too. Kill the Muslims, kill the Christians, kill the Buddhas, liberal lovers, ping chow wang chang bing tong kong, bong dong long chong tong da tong. Bill Gates loves us, he does so good. Take our vaccines and die like you should. Shang wang pong pong bing pong pow. Ching no huang huang quang chow chow. Tong pong tong tong ja ping pa chi. Down with Trump. Up with Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, he kill you now. Take the shots and learn how to die. Die, American scum. Ping, pow, ping, po, pang, chakang. Chang, chong, ching, pang, dong, bagong. We own your debt, your media too. Ha, 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 ha. It's time to die. Take your shots and roll your eyes. Liberal good, wear your mask. I'm your Chinese communist king. Pong, chang, wong, bong, ching, pa, kwang. Wong, chong, ping, kwang, pong, chakong. Guang, chong, King Kong, Pong, Chakwan.
Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare.
What's up, guys? Yeah, sorry I'm a bit late. I got a phone call about like an actual job related thing. You know, me possibly getting a another real job. So, yeah, I had to take that because it's important. But anyway, how are you guys doing? Let's see. We got Mein Fractured Führer in the house. How are you, Fractured?
Oh, hello there!
Paul, we got Paul Adoka. Paul, I'm glad you're here. Yes, I am awake. I'm glad you're here, Paul.
Welcome, valued customer!
Because I just can't help it. We're going to be talking about DSP for a little bit. Push the stream back, still late and gay. I know, but I got an important phone call, and I had to take it. Let's see. Fallen Angel, how you doing, man?
The more the magicer.
Slur. Michael, how you doing, man?
Oh, hello there.
Good to see ya. Not a whole lot. How are you doing, Michael? Banged his head against a machine. You're Oshi. Yes. Yes. Rhodesia never dies. Yeah, it's the, what... I don't know if you guys have ever heard the old Big Bang Theory joke, how he always has that catchphrase, bazooper or whatever, and people started saying Zimbabwe, and then when that Young Sheldon show came out, they started saying Rhodesia. Winnie the Pooh. How you doing, Rodney?
Welcome, valued customer.
And we got Lighthaven in the house.
The more the magicer.
How you doing, Lighthaven? And Random Lulz over on Rumble.
Oh, hello there.
Yeah, you're looking forward to DSP? Yeah, we're probably just going to start with DSP because it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. Rhodesia. I know what Rhodesia is. It's what Zimbabwe used to be. Nice, glad you're doing well. Alright. Alright, so, yeah, we were originally going to talk about Highguard, and I mean, we probably will, and, you know, the Discord conspiracy, and so on and so forth. And, you know, we'll get to that stuff, and there's even some, like, white pills, but, you know, something more interesting always comes up after I schedule the stream and figure out what I'm going to talk about. So, and I mean, you know, there's also stuff like, you know, Epstein-related stuff, Prince Andrew got arrested just today, so we might look into that. But before we do any of that, and I swear, Paul, I'm not becoming a detractor channel, but we got to talk about this, or at least I got to bring this up so you guys can laugh too. So DSP, we all know DSP, right? He recently reviewed the Virtual Boy, or the new Virtual Boy doohickey that is on the Switch 2. You know, I guess they're emulating it somehow. I don't fully understand what it is, if it's an emulator, or if they like actually ported all the games or something, but anyway, so you can play Virtual Boy games on the Switch 2 if you buy like their crappy hardware. So DSP decided to do that. And Memology 101 made a half-hour clip. We won't watch all of it. But yes, there's a half-hour clip of DSP playing the Virtual Boy. Rhodesia's where the Rhodes family come from. We all know this. Well, I assume it's named after a Rhodes family, right? It needs that money. Oh wait, you know what? I just realized I should be using... I'm using the wrong avatar for this. So why does this never work? I gotta do it all manually. Okay. Okay, now I got the right avatar for this. He needs that money, folks. He needs it to pay for his bills, to pay the games he plays on stream. He needs that money. Smart. Okay. Let me pull that up. Yes, we're gonna laugh at DSP for a little bit. God damn it all. I don't know. Like, I have this whole thing set up, so it should... I hit one button, and it should automatically swap out my avatar. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Like, half of them work, and half of them don't. It's, like, actually pissing me off. What the heck, man? Anyway. Yeah, Fallen Angel's looking forward to this. The dents love those muscles. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see the guns there? The big guns? Yeah, you gotta love the guns. He has to pay for his addiction. Which one? He's got so many. Oh, dude's in the house. How you doing, dude?
The more the magicer.
Gonna be lurking today? No worries, man. Wait, Memology posted the video on his Memology? No. This is his DSP channel. No, so yeah, I know he has a channel dedicated to DSP. That is what it is. It says DSP Tries It channel. I just said Memology 101 because that's that's who posted it. Now I'm interested. Yeah, addictions. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know he's mainly addicted to that whatever WWE microservice slop game it is. But anyway, yeah, let me fire it up.
On Virtual Boy, I have no idea because I don't know what games are available besides.
That's the
I know
one, WWE
Wario
Champions.
and Tetris are on there today. Supposedly, today there's 7 games on Virtual Boy. They're supposed to add more in like a month or 2 months, and then by the end of the year, they're claiming to have the whole library up. Plus, they're claiming they're going to add a whole bunch of features like changing the colors of the Virtual Boy. Like right now, as you can see, I have lit my
Yes, he is
office,
an
my
alcoholic,
studio here
though he claims
to look
not to
like
be.
the Virtual Boy. So even though you may
Delivery
not be
food,
able to
yes.
see the games today because of the way they designed this thing, at least you can imagine you're inside of it. By just looking at the color scheme here, right?
So we'll jump ahead a
But
little bit because this is just him
later this
complaining.
year, they're supposed to make it the way that you can read. That's fine. You know, that's not offensive to me. That's a joke to be laughed at, and we can all enjoy, and you can make fun of me. I don't care. All right. Do you see? I wish
His
more
forehead
people
reminds you of
enjoy or
Uncut
understood
Jelly
that
Ham.
difference. I wish more people understood that. If you want to tease
hilarious.
Phil for something that happened on stream for real,
And
you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to
Ed?
tease me
I
because
don't
my
know what
wife
Ket
yelled
is.
at me and told me that I'm insanely loud at night and got mad at me. You could do that. You want to joke because you say, ha, ha, he wasted money on Virtual Boy. That's fine. That's different than actually, like, offensive shit about my family and things that are made up and things that are meant to try to ruin my life. Do you see the difference? If this were a real Virtual Boy, this would have been the port for
That one
headphones.
supposedly ended.
Over here,
Well,
this
so
would have
did the
been the
alcoholism.
expansion port to hook this up to other Virtual Boys.
I was
for
showing
co-op.
off the Virtual Boy.
And then
And
there
this
was
thing is
actually another
complete
port that
crap,
I'm
by
not
the
even.
way. This thing is such crap, by the way. You'd think they would at least give you... Oh, the wife is Cat. The way he pronounces it sounds like Cat. I gotcha. Yeah, apparently she was thin when he met her, and then now she's obese. But this thing, by the way, this thing is such garbage. I mean, why did they put it on a stand? Could they not just give you like a head strap so you can wear it? Yeah, like every other VR headset? Supposedly. Have you seen the before and after? I mean, I've seen the picture, I just don't know if that's actually her. It's sad because when I saw that picture, I was kind of jealous of, oh hey, he has a pretty girl with him. And then when I see her now, I'm like, good God, what happened? It's amazing how people actually give this lunatic money. Yeah. I'm sure some of them are just giving him money so that he keeps doing it so they can laugh at him. I think the wife is still around because the Wings of Redemption clip. Oh yeah, she's probably around. Same with quartering. And there is a quartering bit that I want to go over as well in a little bit. DSP happened, yeah, exactly. Power of Pygnosis, these lolcows have powers we cannot comprehend. Oh yeah. Well, DSP will outlive us all, you know.
I'm not even sure what that was supposed to be for. Maybe a video out. Maybe that's the power. I don't know. But they're not real. See this? They're just hard. They're not. They don't move. They're actually just fake. It's like it's a fake port. You see what I mean? They don't exist. So it looks like, oh, at first glance, oh, is it really like a Virtual Boy? I can actually hook this thing up. No.
I wish it just came with a cart with the games on it instead of requiring the subscription. At least the stand is for cloning the original experience. Yeah, well, it's fine to have the stand, you know, for that experience if that's what you want. I just think that it would be better to also include a strap so that you can actually wear it like every other, you know, VR headset. Because it's also very inconvenient. You know, you have to think about like quality of life as well. Sure, the cart with the games on it. Well, that's Nintendo now. They've gone the same way as the rest of the industry, where you will live in the pod, you will eat the bugs, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. Or else.
You can't. There's no way to do that. They're all fake. So Nintendo went out of their way to actually replicate the form factor, the
owner
look
of the forums calls
and
it the
feel
business
of the
meeting.
original
Yeah,
Virtual
Kino
Boy,
Casino say the same
but
thing.
didn't put in any.
When DSP starts his streams, it states what he'll do and how much money he needs. Yeah, and Quartering's been doing the same thing lately. So Kino have been calling his streams business meetings as well, because it's hilarious. He just talks about the finances on his streams constantly.
Any of the hardware whatsoever.
Oh, and by the way, unrelated. I did add some new emotes. Well, mainly one emote this week. So if you want to post a hideous chink woman in the chat, there you go. Enjoy. I believe that's the voice actor of Ghost of Yowie. The original Virtual Boy was a horrific failure anyways. Yeah, it totally was. I'm surprised they even did anything with it. Well, you know, Nintendo thinks that everything they do is gold, and that they can milk nostalgia out of people. And they're right, because people will buy whatever Nintendo puts out. I'm surprised they didn't just put the games out with fixed colors and maybe no 3D, or fix whatever they need for all that. Oh, there's no point. As far as I know, none of the games were anything particularly, you know, exciting. So there's not really much point in re-releasing them like that. But if they release it like that, you know, the way they did, then, you know, they can bank off the nostalgia of it all. Well, it seems now we'll have a regular crossover called the Kiwi Casino. PvP and Josh, they made 2 or 3 already. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on Josh, other than he is a bit of a simp. But, yeah, it could be interesting. I don't know. I think PvP is probably funnier, though. You got censored? You said gig subs? I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't you dare mention rival platforms. Well, I mean, they all suck in their own way, right? Like, on YouTube, you don't get emotes. On Rumble, you get all the emotes you want. But then Rumble... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... Rumble has no discoverability, you know? I have to say Otis Sneed instead... Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to say Otis Sneed instead of the real name of the platform. Yeah. Yeah, I considered streaming over there, but...
Where whatsoever, in reality, this Virtual Boy 2026 for $100 is a pair of lenses. I'm just going to repeat that quickly so it sinks in. For $100, you're buying a pair of lenses to use with your Switch 2. That's what this is, okay? There's another version. Nintendo is selling a different...
No, really, it doesn't go through. KAK subs. Oh, Kick? Are you talking about Kick? Yeah, that's bizarre. Yeah, I mean, Kick isn't very good either, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I know the Kino Casino guys, they get a lot of stuff on there, but literally nobody shows up on Kick. How do people watch DSP? Dented doesn't even make sense. Oh, we'll get to the good part here. We'll get to the good part. Okay, yeah, Kick.
Different version of this that is much cheaper. I think it's only around, I want to say it's $30. I could be wrong. It might be 40.
Here we go.
Guess what that one is?
Just give it a minute.
Cardboard box with these 2 lenses in it.
Fucking stupid game sucks.
Yes, I'm not joking. Nintendo is selling a piece of cardboard with 2 plastic lenses for around $30 to $40.
Your thoughts on Nintendo Lavos as San Villa? I think it's a joke. I think it's a stupid idea.
The worst thing is when DSP says something and he's actually right about it. Oh, here we go.
This is going to be very exciting. Trust me. This is what Nintendo wants you to do. They think this is very exciting stuff. Okay?
What the fuck is Nintendo thinking?
Now, all right, here we go. My eye exam begins. Let me move my mic a little bit so you can...
Hang on.
Nintendo thinking.
Now...
Do you see that? Do you see this? Let me hide my avatar for a sec. Do you see this donor here at the bottom? He literally has a donor named Protect Trans Kids. And I can't tell if this person is trolling him or if this person is serious or what. Like, what the hell is going on here? He's not wrong about what Nintendo is doing. Yeah, that's the thing. When DSP criticizes you and gets it right, that's when you know you screwed up.
Now, all right, here we go. My eye exam begins. Let me move my mic a little bit so you can hear me. Okay. So my eye exam begins. Here we go. Press the A button.
I like DSP more when he spoke to Asmongold about gaming. It's not what detractors wanted, but he was likable. People would probably listen to him more just for that. Yeah, I agree. It was a nice conversation that they had. It was very, very polite, very cordial, very nice. But yeah, I do think DSP's like podcasts and stuff are more interesting to watch than his actual gaming streams. But you know, this may be his best gaming stream ever.
Button. All right, cool. Oh boy. So, wow. Adjust IPD. Oh God. So here's what I'm seeing. It's Mario Tennis. It's Mario and Luigi standing on your side of the court with their backs to you. And then in the background, you've got Donkey Kong and
So this
Yoshi.
is literally the entire stream. It's literally him because he couldn't figure out how to capture the gameplay. So this guy actually just sits there staring into the Virtual Boy thing the whole time and just narrates every single thing that's going on.
In the background, also, there's the Mushroom Kingdom. And then there's a sign. It's got Lakitu holding a sign that says Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Donkey and their score. Okay?
He's describing what's going on in the
modify
background.
interpupillary distance, IPD, so the 3D visuals appear clearly. And by pressing left and right on the D-pad, it adjusts the IPD, or interpupillary distance.
It just is it. It just by pressing on the D-pad, it adjusts the IPD or interpupillary distance. Interpupillary distance. Yes. Yeah. Like that's a if you've never used VR, that is a thing where they where you adjust it just to move the lenses closer or further apart depending on how far apart your pupils are. I mean, holy crap, he's actually taking all this, he's just describing every individual thing that's going on because he can't figure out how to capture the gameplay. Like, I mean, there has to be some way to do this, right? There has to be some way where you can just, like... I mean, I'm sure people have done it. He cannot... It's just... It is the most painfully retarded thing I have ever seen. The entire bus is the back of the bus. No, DSP is the entire back of the bus. Noob. Bro. Yeah, this is just how it goes for the like the next
of our country's
20 minutes, I guess.
I know, this is crazy. So, the problem already I can tell you, the only way that I can read the entirety of the screen is to have my face, like, crushed into the Virtual Boy. And even then, I can't see it all. Like, I'm not kidding. I have to look, like, move my head up and down.
Top subs. Virtual Boy defeats DSP. So you got a detractor gifting subs.
To see the top and bottom of the screen, I can't actually just see the screen. It doesn't, like, no matter what, I can't see the entirety of the screen. It's kind of like being in an IMAX theater, but you can't see the whole IMAX screen. You have to move your head and look around. That's exactly what this is like right now. Okay? Okay. So, yeah. Like, I went 10 to the left, and it looks very clear now, but already it's starting to bother my eyes. Like, seriously, it's starting to bother my eyes already. So, I don't know.
He's literally just describing adjusting the headset. He's literally just describing adjusting the headset so he can see. This is amazing. Did someone in his chat or someone restreaming him actually ask, are we just watching him describe the game? Is this the whole stream? Probably. Probably.
-5, okay, on the interpupillary distance. Okay, we got Tetris. I'm at a menu now, and the menu is 7 games.
The menu is
got
7
Tetris,
games.
Galactic Pinball, and each time that I select one on the screen, it becomes 3D and pushes towards you on the menu, okay? Golf. Although, admittedly, I can see things on the left-hand side of the screen much better, I can't see everything on the right-hand side at all. I'm serious, it's not centered for some reason. I mean, I can't adjust it. It's already in there. Like, I can't move my Switch. So, it's not
This is killing me.
the spend menu. Okay.
Oh, so do you stick the Switch inside this Virtual Boy thing? to use it. God, that is just... Oh, that is so sad. Hey, what's up, Neo?
Oh, hello there.
This is top tier content. Wish I could be as good a streamer as him. I know, right? You were playing, what, Mega Man last night for hours and hours. And you were actually showing the game. Yet somehow DSP gets way more subs than any of it, more viewers than any of us do. Good God. Like, what the hell? Your gameplay was definitely way better than anything DSP is doing here. I don't. Maybe that's just how we should do it. You know. Oh, you know what? So we're gonna play this. We're gonna play our game here, guys. So I can't actually get this game captured, guys. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play the game and I'm just gonna describe what's happening. So I just started the game. Okay, I just started Reloaded, guys, and I see a black person on the stream. I see. So I see this black person. I'm starting the game. Okay, there's a lot of African sounding music, guys, and it's weird. It sounds like I'm in Africa or like I'm having diarrhea. And so, okay, I'm hitting the start button, and now there's black people talking, okay? Start. And this game is actually starting. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so that we just stole an artifact, guys. So it's telling me to hit the right stick to go, and there's a bunch of obstacles here. And so there's this black woman. I guess I'm playing as her. So I'm moving right. Okay, now I've slid under the thing. Now I jumped over a wall, guys. I jumped over a wall. So now I just picked up the artifact, guys, and there's an alarm. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I guess I jumped through the window. But oh no, they caught me. I died, guys. I died. I gotta start over. Okay. So now there's this black woman on the screen. I can't keep doing this, but you guys get it. You guys get it. I'm pretty sure the subs use Argentinian money, so each sub costs like 3 cents or something. Oh, that's hilarious. It says golf is golf. Yeah. Yeah, it's a placeholder. Yeah, this is... I mean, the product itself is kind of pathetic, to be honest. This is what I get for showing off demos yesterday. I should just be chatting and describing the games, it seems. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Showing the game is too basic. A real gamer has the ability to describe the game. Yeah, totally. I'll start streaming myself looking at a screen and describing what's happening. Yeah, you totally should make a new game out of it. Play a game, describe it, and see how long it takes the chat to figure out what game you're playing. And make it some obscure game that nobody's ever heard of. Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Okay. Wario just flew out of the background on a plane into the foreground. Now it says Virtual Boy Wario Land. The Virtual Boy logo is 3D. Wario's in a plane, and he's flying down in front of the screen. And yes, it is a nice 3D effect, actually.
Wario is flying down from the screen. There's a 3D Virtual Boy.
The propeller. This is crazy. Can you hear the audio here? Let me turn off the.
Can you hear the audio? No, we cannot hear or see anything.
Wario was in a plane. His hand was 3D doing a thumb up. And then the propeller was 3D. Like a bunch of stuff on the screen was all 3D and at different levels on the screen. Okay.
Buddy. Yo, slam that. Yo, this.
Retard alert!
Retard alert!
Retard alert! Retard alert!
I had to hold myself back from playing that, because you know, I want to be just hitting that button constantly. I still love that someone took this footage and was able to pair him up with some long play of the game. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. This guy. Yeah, exactly. We can't see anything. I mean, he should know that. Slab that, yeah. He's a hell of an actor if you still think he's joking. How can you hear the audio if it's not plugged in? Maybe you should imitate the noises too. I'm guessing that it's just playing through like the Switch speakers. But, you know, the speakers being speakers, he would be able to hear it because he's like, you know, right in front of it. But then the mic's not going to capture the audio, most likely. The fully immersive experience. Oh yeah, good point. He should imitate the noises too. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I guess I'm Wario and I'm walking in front of a bunch of doors.
Kind enough to
I don't
turn
know what
it
they
down
mean,
for us.
so I'll just press a
DSP,
button.
okay.
Nothing. Doesn't do anything.
I kind of hear it now.
Pressing every
There's just
button,
like some
nothing's
music.
working. Press start. Okay, press start and he jumped in the door.
I can't do anything but push right. In fact, nothing works. Nothing's working at all.
DSP
What? I didn't even press a
ASMR.
button.
And now we got Wario asleep on a
Only thing worse
folding
would be
chair
quartering
in the
farting
forest.
ASMR.
The forest has a nice 3D effect. Like you can see into the background.
This is
There's a
describing the
waterfall,
forest.
and there's light coming through, and there's a bunch of creatures floating in the water.
And this just goes
and they just
on
sprayed
and on.
Wario in the face and woke him up, and he.
Oh, he put the
You
chat
can't
on
do
here.
the
Oh,
shoulder
that's
dash.
amazing.
This is very exciting.
Here we go.
Stuff.
Here's
no idea what that.
This
means.
is very
It's gonna keep
exciting
building.
stuff.
It's gonna keep building, but yes, whatever you say, buddy. I get it. No, I totally get it. Okay, I say we can finally play the game. We've got live.
Oh, there's a Rodney in his chat, by the way. Rodney Trotter is just laughing at him. So he's got his own Rodney here. If this is a troll, Phil is truly a king snake. To be fair, how would you capture this gameplay? Can't you plug in like a capture card or something to the Switch?
Live
The stream
times
is
3,
dog
hearts
shit.
times 0, coins times 0. Wario
Very
just pulled himself out of the ground.
exciting
Okay, I'm playing. So I can walk left.
This is why his barber fucks up his hair. Is this hair that bad? I think it's just his forehead is kind of weirdly shaped. He has like the Yakub head. Like probably just a video out from the Switch. Yeah, exactly. And Yakub. Let me see. Oh, here we go. See, he's just got like the Yakub head going on. You see, especially like modern photos of him. Yeah, you see how his oh, you know what? This might be the. There we go. No, just wanted the image. I swear. Let me find a good photo of him here. A lot of these photos are old. Come on, there's got to be a good one that I like how the first one is just this one. Okay, come on, there's got to be a good photo of him from you know what am I saying? We can just look at him here. Here. You see how his forehead like kind of expands past his hair? And you got the same thing with Yakub. You got the same thing with Yakub. Is it? If you take video out of the Switch, there's a mirror on both. I assume you would get. I assume you would get like a split view of both eye views. Yeah. Oh my lord, dude has an acorn haircut. That's the guy pounding cat. Got the first result is that big, right? He looks like Angry Joe. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see it. But he's got the same head shape here. Yeah, let's jump back to the comments here.
Left and right.
It's like I'm Stevie Wonder and Phil is describing a game to me.
If I hold the shoulder button, you run fast. Okay. Oh, if you hit the left trigger, you
Anyone else not seeing a gameplay?
open a menu. I don't want to do that. You charge. Oh, look at this. If you hold the B button, you put down your shoulder, and then you can run and do a dash.
There.
It looks like if you mash the button, you can continuously dash. Oh, if you hit the
This
wall,
is
you bounce
great.
off of it. So I guess you're gonna break stuff with that. And you jump. So you jump with A, and you.
This guy. This is the next chapter of Phil's story unfolding in front of us. The final transitional step to removing gameplay altogether. 2 hours of seething at chat before describing a game he pretends to play for 15 minutes. Yeah. Huge regard support. Yeah.
And you jump really, really high in this game, and you dash with B. There's only 9. There's a timer. Oh God,
Proof
there's a
that
timer.
Phil 100%
and the
hates
timer
his
says 19
viewers.
minutes 24 seconds. All right, first obstacle is
Yeah, I know, right? His chat is
spiky
just
ball
an
that's going
endless
to the
roast.
foreground and background.
A stream
and you have
just
to jump
for the
past
visually
the spiky
impaired.
balls and dodge them. There's a bunch, and we're jumping over spike.
My God, it's Tyrone. Get off her, Tyrone. I'm dying.
Hits
Like,
as well.
What is this stream?
The 3D effect actually does work. Where it looks like, you know, pieces of the ground are
3D
closer
effect
or further.
works, well, that's
We're
great,
at
but we
question
can't
mark
see
block.
it,
We
though.
hit it, and there's a coin inside. The first...
This is amazing. And he just goes on and on like this. And I saw Kino Casino did put out like an almost 2-hour clip of them going over this, which I'll be watching at some point later. But they also put out another quartering clip that's like 3.5 hours, so I gotta watch that first. Oh my God, this is... I think PPP was describing this as like Andy Kaufman-esque. Which, I mean... In a way, this is performance art. This really is. Like, what kind... Even Sam Hyde can come up with this, with something this ridiculous. Someone just sitting there for like an hour describing a game and not actually showing it. Yeah, I mean, most likely Phil is like just an absolutely retarded moron. But there is just like a small part of me that thinks, you know, maybe he just is this massive genius troll. Because he
First
totally
enemy
could
looks to be a frog that has like stuff sticking out of his head. I don't know what even that even is. The music. Let's continue with the first hole.
PPP is funny from what I've seen, but he gives DSP too much credit. Although he did say that DSP wanted to phase out the gaming stuff. No. I mean, PPP is kidding. You know, same as I am. Like, he knows Phil's a moron. But, you know, he's just bringing up the possibility that Phil could just have been trolling us all along.
Hole. My neck is killing me. Okay. Continuing on. So I
He's
see the
still
hole. The
going.
flag is out of the hole. Shot. Oh, it didn't let me select anything. Hole 2, 335 yards, par of 4. Okay, here we go. Direction. I'm trying
I don't
to
know
get
to
onto
switch,
the
but I can
fairway
stream
there.
games like that. You can just keep me in the background and you don't have to watch. Yeah, I know. Is this what I should be doing? Is this how I get, like, you know, is this how I break 100 viewers? By not actually showing the gameplay? Or by just not showing anything and just, you know, pretending?
Boy, I'm gonna be honest, this is boring, dude.
And now I overshot, and I'm going all the way down. All right.
Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. Okay, guys, so, this is how you compete with Gundam's future ex-wife, who married herself, apparently. And apparently, like, she's, you know, of course she's cute on stream, but apparently she looks horrifying without makeup. Okay, so, guys, BRB. Alright, no worries. Okay, so, guys, DSP just quit playing the, he just quit playing the Virtual Boy. He is now exiting VR mode. He's annoyed because he can't close it. He's exiting. So now he's annoyed because it's hard to close the Virtual Boy app. He's saying you can't close it unless you remove the Switch 2 from the console. And he's summarizing the experience. He's summarizing it. He's very unhappy. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm watching the video. This is the great... This is easily the funniest thing ever. Wait, who, what? Pokimane. Random Lulz is referencing It's a Gundam and Pokimane. The joke being that Pokimane has a thing for Gundam. I see what you're doing there. It's working. I know, right? I'm gonna break 100 viewers, guys. Yeah.
Everybody likes me now, Craig. Everyone knows it, okay? You see my guns? Craig? I should have shown off my guns when I was talking to Craig on Side Scrollers when he interviewed me. I should have shown off the guns. That would have won over the audience.
I thought Gundam had a thing for Pokimane. I mean, he has a thing for shitting on Pokimane. I don't know if he, I don't know if he actually has a thing for her. Oh, you were confused from it? Yeah. Yeah, Pokimane.
That's my initial Virtual Boy experience. Okay? So what do I think about this guy right here? Well, first off, I didn't get a headache. And I played it for what, like a half an hour, 40 minutes there? I did not get a headache. So maybe with this new version of the Virtual Boy, they've solved that problem?
We need a
I don't
liquid
know.
DSP.
But I can tell you this: my neck is hurt.
If I ever do gameplay streams again, I should totally just go full liquid DSP. Like maybe I should play. What's a game DSP really sucks at? Because maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just play like some game DSP really sucks at, and just pretend to be DSP and use my DSP avatar while I play as him. Just play a game. Yeah, good point. He sucks at everything, doesn't he? Yeah. Are there any games he's good at? He might be good at WWE Champions. You know, maybe he's great at that. That's my guess is that's what he's good at.
It's hurting. Like actually having to lean forward to get into position to use this thing actually has hurt my neck. And the thing is, you might say, well, you should just position better. I mean, I'm positioned ideally. I rolled up with my office chair as far to the thing as I possibly could without having the thing fall. You know, it has to sit on my desk. I don't think I could have positioned it any better than I did. Sadly, it's not really centered right. Like, I feel like it should be more centered properly. It's not. It seems like it's a little bit to the right. So maybe that's something they can fix in the app is have it move a little like that. And then if you don't press the button ever, you just swing and miss the ball. So what the fuck?
This guy's just an all-around train wreck. No, he pays to steamroll too, apparently. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They're pay to win, right? Yeah, exactly. The gameplay is spend dollar, get win. Yeah. If I did stream with the DSP avatar and played games he played but did them better, I wonder if he would get pissed. If he noticed me, he would probably get pissed. He might like try and copyright strike me or something. I don't know.
What the fuck does that mean? Is this where I'm aiming on the ball? I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what that means. I'm just gonna keep building. You had absolutely no access to it, notably because the console is dead. It's basically lost media. You can't really get a functional one for cheap. Like, to get a functional Virtual Boy from the 90s probably cost you a ridiculous amount of money. All right.
Let's find out. I just want to find out if he's right. Because, I'm willing to believe... I could believe that, but... Virtual Boy. Find out here. $400. $280. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, so he's not completely wrong. That's gonna be able to switch to stuff, but yeah. So yeah, I guess that's fair. It is ridiculously expensive. He's not wrong about that. Can you color the costume of Sub-Zero to claim it's not him? Well, I could, but the blue goes so well with my theme here, you know? Besides, you'd still be able to tell it's DSP. It's like 500, yeah. Yep. Maybe had a funny mustache on it. Well, I mean, Phil has a funny mustache.
All right. Good luck. But what I would say is this, at least for posterity purposes, makes it feel like you're playing the real Virtual Boy.
Can't believe I shaved my dick for this.
Would I recommend you getting this? Well, I gotta be honest. No!
Fuck no!
I don't recommend that you spend $100 for a plastic stand with 2 red lenses inside. I don't recommend you spend $50 a year to play 7 games right now.
He's not wrong. This whole thing is completely ridiculous and overpriced. Like, for one thing, if you really want it, buy, like, the $30 cardboard thing. And even then, like, this Nintendo subscription is ridiculous, too. But yeah, so literally his entire gameplay was just him staring into the Virtual Boy, and this reminded me of, Antron, workout video. Less DSP, we needed him to sacrifice his money for someone to tell us that. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it's this one, because he's done like a bunch of these. No, it's not this one. It is... this one, maybe? No, okay, I can't remember. But there's this bit that Jontron has, and maybe it's just the wrong... No, it's not this one. So basically, there's this bit. There's this bit JonTron has where he's showing a bunch of different ways you can buy a movie. Some kind of video. I thought it was the weird workout videos, but maybe not. And the joke is, at one point, this guy who just tells you what happens. You know, guy who just tells you what happened. And I'm butchering the joke. Is it Home Alone games? Dang it. Yeah, I probably won't be able to. Probably won't be able to find it, which is too bad. No. Yeah, whatever. That's a shame. It's a shame. It's a good clip too, but yeah, I can't find it. Okay, so while we're in Detractor Land here, I got one more thing I want to show you. So, you guys remember our panic diarrhea alert emote? So, that is Hannah from the Quartering. And she has her own channel. And I just want you to look at this thumbnail and see if it reminds you of anything. You see anything familiar here? Yeah, so I think at this point we can safely say she watches the casino. And the video is actually like serious, it's about something else, but yeah, so she literally used the thumbnail from her on the quarter, like of her, the screenshot that Kino took of her on the quartering. Yeah, exactly, yeah, so she is likely aware. And so this is her channel. But look at the comments. She's like, that thumbnail, she watches the casino for sure. It's nice to hear Hannah speak without the quartering talking about his bowel movements. Suffragette. Free Anna Claire. Anna Claire deserves hazard pay. Right, shots fired at the quartering.
Just being weird and inappropriate. This is from Syracuse.
She's just talking about something else. Do you watch the casino? Are you under an NDA? Thumbnail is Kino. Let's see. Hannah deserves a pay raise or at least a cut of the Magic the Gathering cards. Yeah, so her top comments are basically all Kino Casino references. So yeah, at this point she must know about the casino. Which is amazing. And one other thing I just wanted to bring up is we're not going to watch the video. I just wanted to, this right here. I just wanted to show the thumbnail. Is this not the greatest thumbnail you've ever seen? Because so Quartering, if you haven't been following him, he's been buying like Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards, and stuff like that, and opening the packs on stream. Because I guess that's a thing now. And he has gotten like nothing good out of him. And so the thumbnail that he made for this is a card of Quartering, and the card art is Quartering just shitting aggressively. Creature instant. Target creature's shards. Tap it and remove it from combat. You saw that? It's pretty good, yeah. Does this guy shit himself that much or talk about shit that much? Yes, he constantly talks about it. He constantly talks about it. Like, so the panic diarrhea alert. That panic diarrhea alert that emote is literally from the face she made when Quartering brought up his panic diarrhea. Target creature shards. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing. This is the last one they put out, and I gotta finish watching it. Is it like his fetish or something? That's what it seems like. His fetish seems to be like shitting himself and talking to women about how much he shits himself. Oh, I didn't even realize. Sleeve media. Because Quartering, like, I mean, I know I stumble over my words sometimes, and I'll be like, you know, just not sure exactly what words to use next, but Quartering is really bad about it. He is constantly saying, And so his channel that he does the Magic the Gathering stuff on is Unsleeved Media, abbreviated UM, and this is the UM here is his actual logo. And so they just called it Sleeved Media. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. I love it. I can relate to that at least, not the shitting. Oh yeah, I mean, most of us aren't presenters, right? We're not professional streamers or anything, so. But with Quartering, it's ridiculous. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, we're just wrapping up the, I guess the detractor segment. Okay. Okay, so that is it for, okay, well that worked. Okay, time for our conspiracy stuff here. Finally, that worked. Alright, let me find... Okay, so Highguard. So we got a bunch of stuff going on with Highguard. And I know James is quietly sobbing right now. So this guy... So to back up, as we know, Highguard is falling apart. I think the studio closed. I don't know if the game's even still going or if they've shut it down yet. And of course we know that Dorito Pope heavily endorsed the game for some reason. So one of the developers of Highguard wrote this entire article on the Twitter, basically coping and seething. And we're not going to read the whole article because it's a whole bunch of navel-gazing claptrap. But in short, he complains about gamers. He says that we are the reason that this game flopped. Who's this Dorito Pope you frequently mentioned? Let me introduce you to Jeff Keighley, also known as the Dorito Pope. I didn't even know this. Apparently, Doritos wanted Jeff Keighley to actually host the Game Awards as Dorito Pope. This is just such a beautiful image, right? Doritos do it right. Apparently, Doritos called him and said, would I be willing to wear the Dorito Pope outfit to host the entire show? That'd be hilarious. Totally should have. So yeah, it's the host of the Game Awards, basically, Neil. Praise be to our Dorito deity. What's up, Wingus?
Oh, hello there.
Yeah, how you doing, man? Like so many, they always blame us when their shit doesn't sell. Then they turn around and tell us, too, it's not made for us. Yeah, exactly. It's not made for you. Why didn't you come... Oh, well, why didn't you come play it? Yeah, it's because of gamers, because bad faith activists pretend to like games ruin our fun. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They pretend to like these really shitty games. So this guy goes, everyone I knew had any connection to the team or project had the same sentiments. This is lightning in a bottle. I trust this team wholeheartedly. If there's one project nobody in the industry is worried will fail, it's yours. This is mainstream hit written all over it. There's no way this will flop. I could play this game all day. The internal pre-reveal feedback, even from unbiased sources, was quite positive. So all this tells me is that these guys had nobody actually criticizing them or telling them, hey, wait a minute, your shit might stink. Same people made Concord, made Highguard, they learned nothing. Yeah, none of them will ever learn anything, to be honest. That's just what these people are. Since we were an independent, self-published studio built with royalties in mind, and also funded by Tencent. They had a bunch of yes men around them. Yeah. Yeah, it's a real problem. Trailer came out, it was all downhill from there. Content creators ignore the fact that when they're negative leaning content gets 10 times the engagement of the positive, they've got just as much incentive to lean into disingenuous direction. Except the game was really not well liked. The hate started immediately. In addition to dogpiling on the trailer, I personally came under fire due to my naivete on Twitter, which almost all of my now former coworkers had learned to avoid during their previous game launches. After setting my Twitter account to private to protect my sanity, many content creators made videos and posts about me and my cowardice, amassing millions of views, and inadvertently selling hundreds of angry gamers into my replies. They laughed at me for being proud of the game, told me to get out of McDonald's applications, and mocked me for listing having autism in my bio, which they seemed to think was evidence the game would be woke trash. All of this was emotionally taxing. Wow, no love for Melee James and his shilling for the game. Yeah, right? Poor James. We were turned into a joke from minute one, largely due to false assumptions about $1 million ad placement, which even prominent journalists soon began to state as fact. Yeah, so the game was dead on arrival. Every one of our videos on social media got downvoted hell. Comment section flooded with copy-paste meme phrases such as Concord 2 and Titanfall 3 died for this. That's hilarious. I mean, this kind of was a... I don't know if it's Concord 2. It's more like, what, Concord 3, 4 at this point? He's complaining about review bombing. In discussions online about Highguard, Concord 2XKO and such, it is often pointed out by gamers that devs like to blame gamers for their failures, and that's silly. As if gamers have no power, but they do, a lot of it. So yeah, he's blaming gamers for the game failing. Their game that sucked. So yeah. And now he's crying that... Basically now he's crying that they won't make more they won't be able to make more games like this because people will go,
oh, but remember how gamers didn't even give Wildlight a chance? We deserve the bare minimum of not having our downfall be gleefully manifested.
So yeah. This guy's just seething over the fact that his game turned out to be actual shit and nobody told him. Hey, your game sucks, by the way. It's like the gaming studio asked ChatGPT for an idea and they came up with this. Yeah, exactly. And now we find out that Highguard was in fact not totally... Well, okay, so there's a little more here. A little more to the cope and see. So, down here... All I'm hearing is him being a faggot. Yes. Oh, yes. And it's not... The thing is that these other developers were actually defending them. So, developers from developers from Baldur's Gate 3, Larian, as well as Epic Games, who made Fortnite, have been defending them, as well as developers like Cliff Bleszinski of Gears of War, Epic Executive Mark Rain, Larian boss Swen Big spoke against negativity from critics. So yeah, a bunch of other developers are coming to the defense of Highguard. Let's see. Yeah, so Baldur's Gate 3 studio Larian. So yeah, you know, Larian, we're all supposed to love Larian, while Larian is defending Highguard. As is Cliff Bleszinski, who I guess made Gears of War, and then some guy from Epic Games. Oh, this guy made a live service shooter that ended in commercial failure. Gee. Wasn't the media that did this. The game had a healthy hour one player count. People just did not see it as enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, the game sucked. What else are you going to do? Because of the circle jerk, you so fine. Yeah. Larian's defending him? Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, base Larian, right? We're supposed to love Larian because they're one of the companies that we all say is totally saving gaming, guys. But we soon found out that Tencent funded Highguard. So they weren't quite as independent as we thought. And yeah, I don't know if I can... Free shit is still shit, right? People didn't want to play it. We as consumers don't owe them our time. Exactly. Like, our time is limited. We gotta pick and choose carefully what we want to play. And yeah, so if someone says, you know, here's a free pile of quartering diarrhea, are you gonna take that? Even though it's free? Nothing says indie like Tencent. Yeah. So it's another fake indie, really. So yeah, this is the original source, but it looks like it's paywalled, so... we will use another source that just tells us what's going on. I love the title here too. Highguard was reportedly secretly funded by Tencent, and if that kind of backer can't offer more than 2 weeks of life, I don't know what hope a multiplayer FPS has in 2026. The game sucked. Okay, no amount of Tencent Chinese Chicom funding is going to help a game that just completely sucks and nobody wants to play. So yeah, they went through mass layoffs, and it looks like their Timmy Studio Group was the undisclosed financial backer here. So we don't have a whole lot more information, and it's unlikely we'll ever get it. You could try digging through Tencent's financial statements, but it's unlikely that you'll ever see anything, because these kinds of investments, while for the studio it's huge, but investments like this are a drop in the bucket for Tencent, because they're massive, you know, they have that Chicom money. So most likely this is going to be buried and just sort of merged together with other stuff under just like some like random category, you know, like small investments or game studio investments. So you're not going to get much more information by reading Tencent's financial statements on this. Yeah. Initially, dismal Steam reviews did improve slightly, and major updates came quickly. Yeah, so here's what probably happened, is they probably just started removing the negative reviews. That's why the reviews improved. Same thing happened with Relooted, by the way. So if I go to Steam, Relooted, and I showed you guys this last week when we played it. This game is reviewed as very positive. In what world is this game very positive? It's not. It's shit. And the top review here is not recommended, by the way. So they've literally been removing and hiding reviews. That's what's going on. And that's probably what happened with Highguard. You know, I don't know what Highguard's reviews are. Let's see. Steam Highguard. Here we go. So the reviews are mixed, which is, I mean, slightly more believable. But they... Yeah, I don't know if it's Steam or if it's the developers, but they constantly remove negative reviews. Like, these reviews even, they're very, very negative here. But somehow it's very positive. And like, when I look for James's review, for example, Melee James, his review is not in here. They literally hid it. So yeah, that's probably what happened, is that the Steam reviews improved because they just removed the negative ones. I don't even know about what 2xKO is. I've never even heard of that. But it's nice to see that all these, all this stuff fails. I love seeing live services fail, by the way. It just brings me such joy, because I hate live service games. 10 out of 10, you're just a hater. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they love doing that. Yeah. It's very dishonest. It's very, very dishonest. And if you guys are interested, they don't just Steam your reviews, they iron them down, pun intended. No. So, of course, as we know, Jeff Keighley endorsed this game, Dorito Pope. And Jeff Keighley runs the Game Awards. Basically, he is the Game Awards. Now, let's take a look at something here. This is the advisory board for the Game Awards. 2XKO is a fighting game based on League of Legends. Riot Slop. Gotcha. Slosh, how you doing, man? I keep forgetting to clip that. To clip your the special intro for you.
The more the magicer.
Yeah, you missed the detractor segment. You know, we were talking about how DSP will outlive us all. We're getting into the Highguard conspiracies here. So if you look at the advisory board here of the Game Awards, you can see all these weirdos and some normal people. AMD CEO. I don't really know why the AMD CEO or why Apple is on here, for instance. But, you know, you can see a lot of these people. Kojima's on here. Interesting. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? They're pals. Oh, man. DSP kayfabing us. Yeah, totally. It's like he is either a complete moron, most likely, but there is that small chance that he is the greatest troll of all time. Jimbo. I don't really... Why do people call him Kojimbo? I don't get that. I really don't get that. Like, where does that come from? Oh, look! It's the lady who's going to bring diversity to Nintendo here. This woman from EA. By the way, if you guys want to dig into this lady... She is probably a big reason why EA games suck now. Good question. Yeah. And, oh, what is this? Tencent. Stephen Ma, Senior Vice President of Tencent. He's on the board of the Game Awards. And who funded Highguard that Jeff Keighley shouted out? Why, it was none other than Tencent. So, really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Really gets the old noggin jogging. Trolling, Capcom. I heard Synthetic Man call him that and I picked it up. Oh, okay. Interesting. But I wonder why he says it then. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Slosh. Wait, is he Chinese? Who? Kojima? No, Kojima's Japanese, I'm pretty sure. Stephen Ma from Tencent. He is the Chinese one here. He is the Chinese one here. Yeah, it's all rigged. Totally. Maybe the Saudis get rid of her. She won't put on a burqa. Yeah, Steve is Chinese, yep. EA sucked for a long time, probably since late 90s, early 2000s. Well, she's been there that long, if you want to go off on a little tangent here. Electronic Arts executive wants to make video games more inclusive, and I'll give you one guess who they're talking about. Laura Miele. So this woman is in charge of EA Entertainment, which is... So EA is basically split up into two major segments. There's EA Entertainment and then EA Sports. So anything that is not sports is pretty much all under EA Entertainment. And EA Entertainment is run by this lady, Laura Miele. So she is under Andrew Wilson, who is the overall CEO of EA. So this woman is the reason that they were trying to diversify all their crap. So she is the reason that Star Wars games suck. She's the reason, she's probably part of the reason that Anthem was shit. And probably the reason that BioWare made Mass Effect Andromeda such garbage. Yeah, so they're trying to get away from telling stories centered only around heterosexual white male characters. Well, you know what? Those are the characters I want to play as. Okay? I want more games centered around heterosexual white men. Oh, here we go. EA's initiative has already had some results. Started after workers noticed the female characters at EA's NBA Live games are broader than their real-life counterparts. They're fat! And see here, it's an effort that Miele, whose tenure at EA stretches over 20 years, and various departments, as you were alluding to, Fractured. Oh, and she says, oh, while playing video games online, she'd been targeted by other players, either by treating her like a less worthy player, by not including her in teams, or group efforts because she was female. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, yeah, and she organizes feminist things at EA, by the way. So, yeah, Yeah, so that's what this lady is. This lady is a big part of the reason why EA is woke and crap now. Progressive women, yay! Exactly. Star Wars Outlaws, you know, you got it. Oh shit, then maybe she should have gotten good. Yeah, she totally should have. But Nightmare, how could you possibly see yourself in a game you play as a white person? I know, right? How can I possibly relate to Batman, who is a rich, straight white man and an absolute giga chad? Yeah, how can I relate to my one of my favorite characters of all time? Yeah, really, it's impossible. It's crazy. Well, you know, somehow I do it. I guess I'm just that amazing, you know?
Wow.
I don't believe for a second she plays games. Probably. She probably just took these things from like Zoe Quinn and the like and just started repeating them. I think the racing game coming up is EA too. What's it called? Star Wars Racing Game 2026. Galactic Racer. So let's have a look here. It is developer of Fuse Games, publisher Secret Mode. So no, it looks like this is not EA. So no, I don't think it's EA then, if it's this Secret Mode. What's weird though is that the Secret Mode publisher, I have never heard of any of these other games that they've published. Oh, okay, here we go. They published Dear Esther, which is a pretentious walking sim.
Are you?
No! No!
Are you joking?
No! No!
Are you joking me?
Sadly, we can only relate to lolcows in their eyes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. They keep putting in lolcows. And look, I know that you have the games like Stellar Blade with and the main characters are women and they're hot. That's good and fine, but I still don't want to play as a woman. I want to play as a man. I want to be, you know, a masculine Giga Chad like Batman or Doom Guy. You know? That's one of the things I liked about Final Fantasy 16. It's like the first actually masculine Final Fantasy protagonist in years. What about Galactic Racist? Oh, we need more of those. Wow, I would have figured. Yeah, I know. I know Disney's been... Disney made the Star Wars license not EA exclusive a while ago, so... They think the Chuds are all like Chris Chan when he was spurring in his room. Yeah, good old Chris. You know, if I didn't start working out, it probably would have been Chris Chan. Although somehow Chris Chan has a girlfriend and I don't, even though I am objectively better looking than Chris Chan. Crazy. She was at Westwood Studios in '96, which did Command & Conquer, and did have a lot of sexy women. Even for Red Alert 3. But she went over in '98 to EA during the acquisition. Yeah, which is about the time frame that you described, right? I almost forgot the LucasArts Star Wars division is no longer associated with EA. So other companies are doing Star Wars games now? Yeah, so I mean, I think EA still makes Star Wars games, but they're not the only ones. Galactic Racist is based. I want that as a character. Oh yeah, me too. I totally do. I know I'm playing female characters as long as it's sensible. I played a Tomb Raider remake ported to Switch and man, total girl boss failure. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I just prefer male characters myself. I just find men more relatable because, you know, they're men. Men have reason and logic. And, you know, I really relate to that. Compared to the older Tomb Raider games, at least. Yeah, I mean, the older Tomb Raider games, at least, were probably more fun, right? The Sonichi medallion dude was creating back then. Make your own medallion and don't shove it up your ass. Oh, my God. Well, I'm already wearing a necklace. You know, I'm wearing the, you know, like those shark tooth necklaces you see guys wear? I got something kind of like that, except instead of a shark tooth, it's like a little jewel type thing. I just need the, you know, I actually have the pecs. I just need to, like, get the blubber off of my torso. You know, so I can actually look like, you know, a Giga Chad. New Tomb Raider's already out. I want to say Slosh is talking about the 2013 Tomb Raider. Yeah, EA lost exclusivity, so any random company can make them. Some more shitty Star Wars games. It's also tiresome. Yeah. But I will say that, I mean, it's better, right, that it's not just EA. And the thing to keep in mind, the thing to keep in mind is that Disney is still in charge of who gets to make Star Wars games and who doesn't, right? So Disney's going to make sure that whoever gets to make the Star Wars games is probably going to be woke and shit anyway, like that company we just showed you. Girls don't mind a bit of chub, just saying. I mean, I got more than a bit. That's part of the problem. You know, I got a... Oh, wait. Hang on. Where's that, Here. Oh, this is not the... Come on. You're showing me weird crap. Oh, here we go. Well, I mean... I've shown it before. I don't know why it's just showing me Henry Cavill... Or, why is it showing me AI slop? Here we go. Here. Okay, so, I'm going for this look right here. Even though they're like, this is all we want. A little body, facial hair, a little muscle, a little fat. So when girls say they don't mind a little bit of fat, they're saying they literally want Superman. You get the Bruce Wayne build? Well, I want the Henry Cavill build, you know? They dropped it on Switch in December, yeah. I prefer they all stop making Star Wars content of any type, movies, games, etc. Just let it die for a while. That's how I feel about Marvel and DC. Just let it die. Just let it die. I ain't buying a game that's fat, black, and gay. Come on, where's the inclusivity and diversity? Yeah. That's AI, bro. I know, right? It's just showing me all this AI slop for some reason. I don't know why. And super gay. Exactly. Filtered by AI dadbots. Oh, those were just like weird, fat AI images. I don't know what the hell that is. The stream just turned gay.
Why don't you get some scented candles, nigga? Cause you gay!
That's not a dad bod, that's years of working out. Yeah, but this is what women consider a dad bod. Like, they literally call Henry Cavill, the absolute Giga Chad, a dad bod. And you know, if I could lose some weight, I could probably look a little... I could lose more... I could look kind of like this if I could, you know, mostly drop the gut. That's the big problem, is I just gotta drop the gut. I didn't mind the last Tomb Raider, maybe I didn't pay attention. I haven't played them myself, but I think Slosh likes them. You also have to consider Cavill going through hell just to get that physique. Yeah, I know that for shirtless scenes, guys like Cavill have to like downright dehydrate themselves. That's steroids? No, I believe Cavill is one of the few guys in Hollywood who is jacked and is not on steroids. Like, his physique is actually a real natural physique, from what I understand. And that's part of why I actually respect the guy. But yeah, I got a necklace like this that I'm currently wearing, like the one you see in the picture. Most sensible girls might say they want that, but the truth is they don't mind genuine dad bods. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I just need my gut to not stick out. Because my genetics are just really bad. They really concentrate the fat, like, right in the gut. You know? And that's mainly what I gotta get rid of. Cavill went more lean for his Highlander role? Nice. Yeah. But I mean, he's one of the few guys in Hollywood I can actually respect. Because he's not, you know, he's not juiced as far as I know. It's just like actual hard work. But anyway, we really went off on a tangent there. I don't buy it, but it would probably be going through a lot still. Doesn't mean it's not worth it to put in the effort, but it's the drive that people seem to like. Yeah, well, I mean, I've lost like 45 pounds so far since last year, but yeah, I've kind of plateaued. But I have noticed that ever since I upped my calories a little bit, I have been feeling a lot better. Kind of like Toby working out for 6 months for Spidey. Yeah. Well, I mean, like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man, he was jacked, right? But nowadays, people will look at that physique and go, oh, that's nothing. That's barely any kind of workout at all. And I'm like, are you crazy? Anyway, yeah, so back to... Nice job I got there. Yeah, hopefully it just takes time, you know. Just takes a lot of time. Anyway, so Jack for Spidey, yeah. Well, so people don't realize, people think Spider-Man is just this like scrawny, tiny character, but no, he's supposed to be jacked. Like, he's small compared to, you know, some of the big villains and such, but he is supposed to be a jacked guy. Like, there's a comic from, I think, the 80s, where you see Peter... so Peter is like, you know, this jacked, handsome look guy, and I think at the time he's already dating either Gwen or Mary Jane, and he's at, like, some pool party or something. And there's this actually very hot woman. There's this very hot woman who is into him, and he actually has to go run and hide to avoid her coming onto him. Like, that is what a Chad Peter actually is. Like, he has the Parker look, but when it comes to women, like, Peter Parker gets a lot of women interested in him, believe me. Let's keep talking about Muscle Man. He gets jacked after getting bitten. Yeah, he does, but, like, my point is that Spider-Man is, like, he is jacked. He's not... Like, he's not the scrawny Tom Holland-looking guy that they want us to take Spider-Man for now. Okay, so we were talking about Tencent here. And yeah, so they were claiming that Teamy Group, which is a subsidiary of Tencent, was funding it. So they own a lot of these games like PUBG Mobile, League of Legends. And yes, it appears that Teamy Studio Group was the one responsible for Highguard. Now, this is somewhat common. So, let me show you something here. And this may actually explain something about why Larian were defending it. So this is a couple years old now. But this is, as of November 2024, this was every game company Tencent has invested in. And so this is kind of what Tencent does. This is the Chi-Com strategy here, is to put a little bit of money into all these different developers. Because all they really need is one big blow-up to make their money back. So they own Riot Games, who make League of Legends, and that 2XKO game that we were talking about earlier. They own 40% of Epic Games, so Fortnite, and the Unreal Engine. Now, here's an interesting one. Larian Studios, 30%. Tencent owns 30% of Baldur's Gate 3 maker Larian Studios, and is the only other shareholder apart from the CEO. So isn't that interesting? So I wonder why the Larian Studios founder was defending Highguard, which also is a Tencent invested game. And here's another one, From Software. So a subsidiary of Tencent owns 16% of From Software, who famously make Dark Souls and other Souls-likes. Larian was essentially dead to me when they thought bestiality was something out of their game at all. Yeah, I mean, it's basically just the bear fucking game, right? Krafton, so the company that owns PUBG, 13.9%. Ubisoft, Tencent owns chunks of Ubisoft. Activision Blizzard, now I don't think that's the case anymore because Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. You came over to imagine my shock, yeah. Grinding Gear Games, who own Path of Exile, they own 80% of this company. They own 14% of Remedy Entertainment. They own 100% of Leiyu Technologies, who own Splash Damage. Inflection Games, 100%. Supercell, 84.3%. Even my beloved Platinum Games, they own some amount of, which is sad. Jaeger made Spec Ops The Line, Frontier Developments, Kakao, Paradox Interactive. Interesting. Hearts of Iron 2. Even more, Fat Shark, who undisclosed majority stake in the developer of Warhammer Vermintide 2. Funcom, they entirely own, are the makers of Conan Exiles. Shark Mob, 100%. And it looks like they're just shutting them down. Discord, which will be one of our next topics. They own a big chunk of Discord. Isn't that interesting? And they're not the only ones, by the way. There are other companies. NetEase is the most prolific one after Tencent. NetEase owns I think they own outright. They outright own Quantic Dream, as well as investments in Bungie and Devolver Digital. My nephew played Baldur's Gate 3, said you're hard locked into romance dialogue with male party mates. Some part of the game is unavoidable. Yep. Yep. NetEase is massive too. Yep. Yeah, so China's fingers are in the game. China has its hands in the gaming industry massively. Massively. So that's just something that you should keep an eye out for, you know? Alright. So let me... Expedition 33, yep. They had an investment in Sandfall, who are the publishers of Expedition 33. Another fake indie. Just like, so... I mean, I think a lot of Devolver games are kind of billed as fake indies, too. But, yeah. So, I don't think this is, like, as big a conspiracy as it seems. Because this is just standard Chi-Com practice. But it does make Highguard look worse. Alright. So there are a few other things we can talk about here. So how do you guys feel about the idea of owning nothing and being happy? Because PlayStation, words have no meaning, and indie game is just another new marketing buzz term to sucker people in. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, indie games are totally saving gaming, guys. Oh, wait, these are actually games that are made by Tencent. These games are owned by the Chinese Communist Party. Can't wait. Yeah. So now, in Britain, you can lease a PlayStation 5 from Sony. Joke's on them, I was unhappy before I owned nothing. Yeah, I know, right? So in Britain, and I'm sure this will be rolling out to America at some point, you can lease a PlayStation 5. How dystopian is that? And it's not, I don't even think it's rent to own. You literally just rent the PS5 for however long it is. You can't get too preachy though. I've played and sunk time and such into Marvel Rivals. Didn't they do this at Rent-A-Center here in the States? Did they? I mean, I know Rent-A-Center does a lot of stuff like this, but that's their, places like Aaron's. Because I know you can do this, but this is a rent-to-own, by the way, so eventually you can actually buy out the rental. But this is like, you literally just lease it, that's it. And then you send it back, like there's no way to own it. So it's either, at the end of your lease, you either keep paying monthly or you leave by returning the device. Yeah, console leasing. Yep. So there's no buyout option. Exactly, yeah, the UK one is not to own. It's literally just to rent. And they're not the only ones. Yes, it is dumb. Oh, indeed. But wait, there's more. They're not the only ones. Subscribe to your laptop. So rent your laptop from HP. So you literally will rent your laptop. Isn't this amazing? And they're pushing AI for it. Yes, bingo. It's no different than upgrading a cell phone. I remember back in the day you could rent consoles at Blockbuster and mom and pop shops, but it's still bizarre stuff. I don't remember that. I don't remember being able to do that. I remember renting games, but never consoles. What happens when you make the full payment? Still can't own it after? No, so you literally just pay the subscription fee, and then at the end of the term you can either renew it or you send it back. There's no way to own it. Exactly, there it is, the hardware subscription, so you own nothing at all. 100%. And they're saying, oh, this is so great. Pay over time. Will I own the laptop? No. It's a new way to get a new laptop every year. Shake my head. Yeah, we rented a PlayStation before we ended up getting one. I gotcha. Why subscribe to a laptop instead of purchasing one? Say goodbye to the hassles of owning. Jeez. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This reminds me actually of if you guys remember, there was a whole scandal. I think last year with another gaming PC, another PC subscription. I don't think I ever rented a console, but I remember it being an option at my Blockbuster. Oh, gotcha. I don't think mine had that. Laptops are becoming cell phones. They kind of are. At least they're trying to. What's funny is I always buy my cell phones outright. So there was NZXT Flex, where you could buy... I might have to turn off Dark Reader here. You could buy a gaming... you could rent a gaming PC. And there was a whole... We're not going to watch the video, but Gamers Nexus did a whole expose on the... scam. So this is a predatory rental computer scam. And it's only gotten worse. So what they were doing, it's even worse. They were actually bait and switching the components. So whatever you rented, you weren't actually getting the components they claimed you were. And this is also just a terrible, terrible value proposition. Because you're spending tons of money on something that... I mean, you're spending money on something that's still going to be cheaper if you actually own it. Because, yeah, you pay full price, but that... I mean, just look at these prices here. $279 a month. So if you rent a PC for... If you rent one of these things for a year, you could have spent that money and just built the whole PC. So, yeah, and I don't think anything's improved since the Gamers Nexus exposés. And with the hike to RAM and SSDs, this plays right into their hands. Yep, 100%. Yeah, Wingus knows the video. And, of course, we all know the evil statements by Jeff Bezos. Bezos believes AI will force you to rent your PC from the cloud. I hate this guy. Thanks to all the RAM and SSD shortages and so on. So he talks about how AI is the main focus at Amazon, and I'm sure offshoring is also a big focus there. So he says, you're going to buy compute off the grid. That's AWS. So that's insane. And of course, they're talking about how streaming has replaced everything else. You own nothing. On a related note, the CEO of a company called Phison, who make SSD controllers here. And we can't watch the interview because it's not in English. But the CEO of this Taiwanese controller maker believes that a bunch of consumer electronic companies could just disappear over the next year or so. Because all the memory and so on is so overpriced, they literally just cannot buy it. And of course, he thinks that memory shortages will persist beyond 2026, because of course they will. So when companies can't adjust to supply chain issues, they, well, you know, Apple and such will be fine, but smaller companies may simply die off. That will hit every industry, including smartphone production, which I can see it. The auto industry. Yeah, because cars have computers now, right? So that's going to get worse. And lest you think that older hardware is safe. There. Lest you think older hardware is safe. Oh no. So Western Digital is already sold out of all their hard drives for 2026. That's hard drives, by the way. That is older technology. It's not SSDs, which are already in trouble. They're saying that their hard drives are on back order for 2 years, all thanks to data centers. So it seems like every manufacturer is pivoting over to data centers. Which means that, you know, consumers like us are never going to be able to buy any components that we need. So welcome to the you will own nothing and be happy dystopia. You'll have to rent your computer from the cloud. Oh boy. Okay, so time to break into some data centers. Yeah. You may end up just having to like buy used stuff from data centers, but who knows? They may be selling to other... They may be selling their used stuff to other data centers. Okay, so back to video games. Here's something interesting. Sony has killed off the God of War live service that they were working on, which is great to hear. I love seeing live services die. But they closed the entire studio behind it, Bluepoint Games, who made the Demon's Souls remake. About 70 employees will be laid off. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of information here. But, you know, any live services dying is good news to me. While Helldivers broke through in 2024, other efforts like Concord failed. Bluepoint, once known for prestige remakes, had aligned itself with the online pivot. When the strategy shifted, its future narrowed. So, you know, I'm not too upset about that. Alright, so we could go over Discord. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a Gamers Nexus video that we can watch here. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. Because it's long, right? Yeah, exactly. Imagine being forced to work on a live service game, then they cancel it and fire you. Yeah, totally. Imagine thinking that live service games are actually a good idea when they keep failing. Pop out for now. Got errands to run. Take care. Alright, see you, Slosh. Thanks for hanging out, man. Alright, so before we jump into this, I'm just going to go to the bathroom really quick. So give me 2 minutes here. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I had to grab a little bit of protein. I was very hungry. Okay. So we all know about the, we all know Discord is doing its, Internet ID push, right? Gamers Nexus made this whole video about it. Probably not going to watch the whole thing because it's pretty long. But there's a lot of information in here.
Discord wants your government ID, and it wants it just in time for a rumored IPO. Just in time to...
But there's a lot more behind this that you may not realize. For instance, connections to, as they say here, Palantir and Peter Thiel. But there's even a connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
Increase shareholder value by having additional marketable information attached to your chat app profile that you may be using through an exe that's installed on your Windows desktop computer that is at some level capable of monitoring the process. End quote. There's one more disturbing link in all of this, and it's this guy, Peter Thiel, who's a living embodiment of weird links, including what we think is a strong one to this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, mostly due to financial agreements. Thiel also has deep links within the US government, as we've discussed. As Thiel relates to Discord, it's a four-step process. The age assurance note from Discord on its official announcement states, quote, important, if you're located in the UK, you may be part of an experiment where your information will be processed by an age assurance vendor, Persona.
Now, Persona is a whole rabbit hole, and Persona, I believe Discord is no longer using Persona. That is an update since after this video was published. But Persona is a massive rabbit hole that we're going to go down, because it is disturbing. It's associated with feds, by the way.
The information you submit will be temporarily stored for up to 7 days, then deleted. For ID document verification, all details are blurred, except for service improvement, and since 2025 requires users to waive their right to join class action lawsuits, end quote. So in just a few short steps, Discord is connected to Epstein associated and seemingly sugar baby Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal and mentor to Sam Altman of ChatGPT.
Tell me about your just communication lessons that you've learned from Peter Thiel. He comes up with these
to things like Discord, which obviously has a wide range of uses, but most of them are pretty normal. And this is valuable information to tie to your ID and your online presence, where attaching IDs to everything bears with it, we think, serious risks of, one, exposure, as in just vulnerabilities to different types of attacks, extortion, blackmail, but also future suppression of speech, such as via corporations and or governments. The good...
Yeah, so as he's saying, this is really just to tie your internet activities to your actual ID so that it's easier to censor you and control you. It's never about the children. And yeah, they do claim that they're going to be using their AI age models to estimate things, but who knows? You know, that stuff is crap anyway. And I was just going over how people were getting around it. Let's just explain some of the reasons they're doing it. Oh, and by the way, they also go over here. The breach, when they did it earlier. So the people in, I believe, the UK and Australia, who gave Discord their IDs, had those IDs leaked.
End quote. In terms of the data that was compromised, Discord shared that it included Discord usernames, emails, limited billing information, which could likely include all or part of addresses, IP addresses, which are a major vector, customer service messages, corporate data, and last but not least, what they call, quote, government ID images, end quote. Well, this information is valuable. Having IP addresses and hardware configurations, which are already collected by websites, can be combined, bought, sold, traded, acquired on the internet, whether through later reduced to $3.5 million per bleeping computer, and Discord said, quote, we will not reward those responsible for their illegal act.
So this is basically an extortion racket when the the Discord hack was an extortion racket. They did not pay, and we still don't know. We still have not seen the actual data released to the public yet.
Actions, end quote, which is really just a less cool way of saying we don't negotiate with terrorists. So Discord seemingly didn't negotiate, didn't pay out, and we still don't. Employee and goes by Discord Zorkian on the Discord app subreddit admitted this, quote, if you do end up in the ID bucket, then yeah, you're right, that has some risk, end quote.
So this is a Discord employee admitting that there is serious risk if you have to show your ID to the system.
You can find that quote in our latest installment of Things the Lawyers Really Wish Weren't in Writing. Andrew Smith, who serves as a cybersecurity expert at Kyocera Document Solutions UK, predicted this could happen back in July of 2025, telling metro.co.uk, quote, whilst many services claim they do not collect or retain data for a minimum period, data is still collected at the point of transfer, end quote. He added, quote, with the increasing prevalence of cybercrime, there is a risk of data breaches occurring, which can severely...
Yeah, so your data is going to get stolen. If you... Whenever they do this internet ID crap, your data is getting stolen. It just is. Not to mention all the problems here that he's going over, how the AI estimation is terrible and it doesn't work.
He told metro.co.uk, according to the publication, he, quote, feels
yes, and it can't see people who are heavily tattooed or disfigured. So let's talk about some of the Discord alternatives here, but they're not ideal.
Interesting pathways is to self-host something for those who don't need access to the entire internet of people to connect with. This is less feasible, where you may interact with more sort of random people day by day, like from gaming servers, you want to add someone new, but it works great for existing friend groups or companies or groups of people who really can just stay on one platform.
Stolen or stolen as in sold, yes. Yeah, so this data will be sold to governments, you know, it'll be sold to companies, insurance companies, you name it. I mean, I think even the DMV sells your personal information nowadays. Like, literally, the government DMV sells your personal information to whoever. And yeah, so they can do a lot of crazy stuff with this. I mean, same thing with those, like, DNA testing services, you know, those, like, what is it, Ancestry, or 123, and what's it called? 23andMe, those kinds of things. What they'll do is they will take whatever data, your DNA data that you give them, and then they'll go sell that to insurance companies. They'll sell that to, like, health insurance companies. So it's the same kind of thing. They said they wouldn't go with Persona. Yeah, I did mention that briefly. Persona is still a rabbit hole that we will be digging into. But yes, they said they're not using Persona, but they're still doing the internet ID, right? And this is a serious problem. Just got back to go over that. Yeah, I did touch on it. I don't doubt that they'll try scummy shit, though. Yeah, exactly. So even if they're not using Persona, they are still using all these third-party vendors, and none of these are trustworthy. We don't know anything about any of them. And to be honest, I don't even trust Discord itself that much.
After the initial announcement, the next day, February 10th, Discord tried to do damage control. The company took to Twitter and wrote, quote, for the majority of adult...
This is my favorite segment, the damage control segment. Exactly, yeah, it worked out horribly for the UK because they had all their data leaked.
Users will be able to confirm your age group using information we already have. We use age prediction to determine with high confidence when a user is an adult. This allows many adults to access age-appropriate features without completing an explicit age check, end quote. Really reassuring, Discord, thanks. Instead of, we need your ID to do this, it's now become, we already know anyway. I mean, it's just, the ID is really just a formality at this point. The concern with these types of solutions is that you end up in a 23andMe type of situation where even if you absolutely refuse to put your DNA in a polymailer and send it off to a private corporate lab somewhere to be analyzed and then sucked into a database on the internet, if your estranged aunt and uncle you haven't seen in 20 years decide to do that, then you are also starting to be added to that database. In these DNA situations, you can start to triangulate users. And it's kind of the same for social media.
Exactly. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Even if your relatives with the DNA stuff go and do that, that information can be sold to, for example, health insurance companies, who will then use the information provided by your relatives to determine things for you. It's all very dystopian. Damage control, let's lie to everyone and contradict ourselves in our statement. Oh yeah, it gets so
Media,
worse.
Where if your friends on a platform like Discord upload their ID and they comply, maybe they're not as informed on the situation or whatever it may be, now suddenly by being associated with you, the platform can start to figure out who you are, how old you might be, maybe even just literally who you are based on your friends who've uploaded their own identifying information. So now they don't just have a username, the company also has potentially a name. Maybe they can point at something like Facebook and start to build a full profile on that person. There's pathways to crawl back to you. So whether or not you comply, the problem is that anyone who does is putting everyone else at risk.
And speaking of Facebook, Facebook does that too. You know, they have they call them shadow profiles. So what they do is they actually compile information on people from like photos and so on who are not on Facebook, and then they maintain a profile with all the data on the people who are not actually on the platform.
Because of this ability to triangulate the data and who's who. I think this is something that a lot of people, it's easy to forget that part of it, but this stuff's pretty smart these days, and especially with AI tools where as much as they get memed on, there are a few things that they can be pretty good at, and one of them is connecting links and building these sort of webs. And the same goes for services like Discord, where they can get you one way or the other, and the rest is a formality. The company went on in damage control mode to say, quote, "Facial scans never leave your device. Discord and our vendor partners never receive it. IDs are used to get your age only and then deleted. Discord only receives your age. That's it. Your identity is never associated with your account."
Now, I don't believe any of this. Especially the IDs are used to get your age only. We have no idea how long these IDs are going to be stored. And as for Discord only receives your age, that is complete bullshit. I don't believe a word of that.
End quote. So they're sort of pre-contesting what
and
a lot
even
of
if
our
they do, who's to say that the third-party vendors aren't holding on to this stuff?
concerns are, which is what we would expect them to do. The post continued, quote, "In a minority of cases, when additional confirmation is required, we offer multiple privacy-forward options." It doesn't mean fucking anything, by the way, "through trusted partners," end quote.
Yeah, there's nothing privacy-forward about any of these options. Sorry, I'm back. How much racism did I miss? Well, I did play this clip earlier.
Why don't you get some scented candles, nigga? 'Cause you gay!
Discord is not encrypted at all, and they don't even try to hide it. Well, yeah, I mean, Discord is more of like a public platform than anything.
Quote, "And considering Discord puts its trust in a partner that leaked at least 70,000 IDs, if not millions of data points, it has already proven why no one can be trusted with this data."
Yeah. Yeah, so, like we keep saying, they've already had data breached, so there is really no trust left. Yeah, just trust companies and the government. When have they ever lied or hurt anyone? Yeah, exactly. You know, we gotta do it for the children, right? Because if kids happen to see, if kids happen to see boobs on the internet, that is such a terrible tragedy that we're better off with those kids growing up in a 1984 surveillance state and having no rights or freedoms.
Data. Discord continued, quote, "We will not use your age assurance information to target you with advertisements, and we don't sell your data. You can control how we use your data," end quote.
That is just a complete and total lie. That is just a total lie. Definitely not the parents' fault. Yeah, parents definitely... We need to have parents with parents for sure. Imp, what's up, man?
Welcome, valued customer.
Yeah, we went over some funnier stuff earlier. And now we're getting to the Discord stuff. So... Yeah, we were laughing at DSP earlier.
Quote, yeah, gonna press X on that. But let's assume that's true. Let's assume it's written in blood and they'll sacrifice the CEO at an altar. I don't know, maybe it'll be one of Wendell's server cabinets or something, in order to prove that they're not gonna abuse this information. The concern we have as ever is, for example, when a company wants to acquire this other company, where Microsoft previously was rumored to be interested in buying Discord.
Scale of 1
Microsoft-
JFK assassination, how bad is this conspiracy getting? If JFK assassination is 10, then maybe like a 6. Because, I mean, a lot of this is stuff we already know, you know? It's not... Like, we went over the Highguard stuff, and the Highguard stuff was actually only like a 2. It's not as crazy as you'd think, other than them just, like, lying about Tencent funding. Because the Tencent funding is, like, a very standard Chinese communist practice, so... Say Waco, Texas? I would... I don't know if I'd go that far. Still really awful. Yeah. I mean, it's bad, but it's not
basically
like...
the perfect type of company. They're exactly the right level of evil and incompetent to pull something off where they buy it and they go, fuck the agreements, do it anyway, and we'll just pay a couple $1,000,000 later. But, you know, what we're going to make now, that'll be worth it. You know, likewise, even if they don't keep the ID on file and all they've done is make some sort of association in a database that your account is a verified end user of a minimum age or greater, that's still valuable, again, in an acquisition, where now a company like Microsoft can connect this to your maybe offline Windows 11 local account or something and start to really piece together some valuable information, and they do put ads in that. And so whether or not Discord says they're gonna sell the information to advertisers, the point remains that it can be used that way. Following its compliance to the
Yep. So it will be used that way. What about the leak they had however long ago? The one we were talking about? And the claim the links and uploads like text would only be up for a limited time for something? How does it pertain to stuff like old or deleted accounts? I don't know exactly. They're claiming that this stuff will be ephemeral, effectively, and I don't believe a word of that. So, most likely this stuff is just going to be... Most likely this stuff is just going to be there as long as they want it to be. They're not going to delete your info, most likely. And even if they do, the vendors won't. It's just completely obvious Discord sends the info to the CCP, and that is a true statement. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Tencent owns... we went over this during the Highguard bit. Tencent has a sizable investment in Discord, so... Product is free, you are the product. Yeah, pretty much.
The UK Online Safety Act, Discord partnered with, we kid you not, KID to handle age verification. Discord reiterated that it uses KID in a support page that was updated 2 months ago. So we looked into the company. KID provides a platform that helps gaming and tech companies comply with age verification regulations.
Discord is
Big
asshole.
names use
Yeah.
KID, including Meta, Hasbro, and Twitch. And looking through KID's privacy policy, it states, quote, if you engage with our services either through an online service or support through Family Connect, we receive your approximate city-level location from your device's IP address, end quote. Except an IP address is a lot more than city-level data. It's...
So now he's going into the vendor that they're using instead of Persona, KID. Also, the leak of the USA government institutions matching your face to your accounts, making Persona view with your data, personality posts, etc. That's a big one. Yeah, well, I mean, we know they do that, right?
It's weasel
We know they
wording,
try to do
where
that.
technically they're correct. IP data can get you to city-level geopositioning, geolocation. If you know what you're doing, you get a little further than that. But it is mostly roughly accurate to say that statement. But an IP address is also one of the best methods to tie data packages to each other, and they're not talking about that, and that's for a reason. Regarding age information, the post continues, quote, we receive age information through a variety of sources, including from you
Contracts
directly
leaked
through
2 days
third-party
ago.
age signals.
Well, yeah,
Or
that's all the stuff with Palantir and Flock and all that. Yeah, and they're also using ICE to kind of hammer it through without us noticing. So, yeah, we're all supposed to be cheering on ICE, who I think have been stopped from doing mass deportations now. But the mass surveillance stuff ICE is being used to push through, that's still going on.
via our automated tools, end quote. It isn't clear what third-party age signals and automated tools actually means here. Diving deeper into KID, we found that one of the
back end and everything. You hear about that one? Which back end? Discord's?
company's so-called chief evangelist, whatever that means, is a woman named Baroness Joanna Shields, who previously served in that position during at least 2020. The American-British woman is a former politician who was minister for internet safety and security.
Palantir is a very evil company. I don't care how base people want to pretend Peter Thiel is. It is just trying to take over and expand the Panopticon.
Security in the UK between 2015 and 2017. Eventually, she was appointed as the Prime Minister's Special Representative on Internet Crime and Harms, where she served in that role until 2018. Shields has also been a proponent for the UK's Online Safety Act, which started all of this. In a blog post published on July 18, 2024, she reflected, quote, "There have been recent positive developments in legislation, including the UK Online Safety Act," end quote.
Okay, gotcha.
On her LinkedIn
I didn't hear
page,
about that
she
part.
also
I didn't hear about that part, but it would not surprise me one bit. It would not surprise me one bit.
recently shared she's proud of the recent partnership between KID and Discord. Just like in the US, there's a lot of crossover between politics and private enterprise. This makes it difficult to know how pure intentions are for these people. Maybe Shields legitimately really cares about the subject and is trying to champion it from both the public and private sector. We don't know.
I doubt it.
But we just find it weird that former government position holding people happen to align with new private sector positions. It's especially strange when looking into how much money the age verification industry is generating. But maybe it's just a passion of hers. Genuinely, we're not sure. It does seem strange though. As it turns out, there's a rapidly growing identity arms race of which KID is a part. That's worth billions of dollars now. Future Market Insights wrote, quote, "The identity verification market is projected to rise from USD $14.1 billion in 2026 to $42.8 billion.
In other words, there's a huge market for this now.
By 2036, recording a 13.1% compound annual growth rate, end quote. It's possible this is an industry that's largely, or at least in part, propped up under the guise of protecting children while selling a solution that may line the pockets of those in power. It doesn't.
Isn't that convenient? So they come up with all this fake nonsense, get their pals in government to pass the laws, make a bunch of money off the industry, and then the politicians probably get lots of nice kickbacks in insider trading investments.
It doesn't help that billionaires in power are ones driving all of this, given the recent news. Discord isn't an island here. While Discord says that it will quickly delete copies of your ID, we're not sure what quickly means. In general, the energy coming from the company right now is gaslighting and ego, where when called out, it says that it's not really going to be that bad. And then when confronted with how bad it is, at least from a user exodus situation, they say, we're going to get you back anyway. We'll have some features. But Discord has shown that it can't be trusted, and Discord forgets that it is just one of a million other chat applications that have all come and gone before it, and it's not special. Discord undermined its credibility to protect user data once already. It should not be trusted here. It shouldn't have been trusted the first time either, but now especially. And pushing users to submit their IDs to third-party sites provides a treasure trove of data for bad actors to prey upon, or bad actors that are legally.
I'm sure people thought Peter Thiel was based. This is the thing. Oh yeah. He's all pro-Trump. He's buddies with Trump. He funded the. He was funding Hulk Hogan's lawsuit against Gawker. So. Yeah, people were thinking, oh, Peter Thiel's he's so based and so cool. But yeah, because I mean, like he's all in with Trump, right? And he has been. He was not a. Even 10 years ago, he didn't have the Trump derangement syndrome like a lot of the other billionaires did. Yep. Yeah, so it's only gotten worse now that the other billionaires realize that all they have to do is suck up a little bit to Trump and then they can get whatever they want out of him.
Legally protected as corporations. It's dangerous and gives up details like addresses, birth dates, the latter of which can be used to potentially get access to sensitive content like medical records. A lot of hospitals, you call them, you give them a name and a birth date, and you'll get a lot of information with just that.
That doesn't mean he's based. That just means he's right at least once or twice today, just like any other broken clock. Look, I don't think he's based, but a lot of people out there do just because he's supporting Trump. You know, it's the kind of people who mindlessly support Israel. He's only pro-Trump because he's been backing Vance for so long. This is so retarded. No, I think he's pro-Trump more so because Trump will just give him whatever he wants, as long as he's as long as he claims to be pro-MAGA or whatever. I agree with you. Okay, yeah.
That it is useful in the very least for social engineering as well. And again, one of our concerns is the ability for non-compliant, unconsenting users to be triangulated by the nature of how these tools work, where your friends who surround you create the vector to draw a line straight to you and identify who you are. And this is, again, I think one of the least obvious use cases of this type of technology, where you can get everyone even if they're not a participant. Discord's argument is that it's trying,
just like Facebook,
trying to protect teenagers. But as we mentioned, kids are finding ways to bypass the systems anyway. And
so yeah, so not only are kids able to find ways to bypass the systems, how exactly, if you're worried about like child predators, for example, how exactly is bucketing everyone who doesn't do the age verification into teen status going to work? Because all a teen has, if teens are talking to someone else who's labeled as a teen, that doesn't exactly stop predators from talking to teenagers, because the predators will also be classified as teenagers. Back to you. All right, no worries, man.
And likewise, such systems, ironically, I think, prey on them the most, because the kids who actually have to deal with this stuff, first of all, there's a concern of sort of that generational gap, not by age, by technology, where over time, it just takes one generation that has only ever known this approach to the internet, uploading your ID to use a thing, to suddenly think that everybody else is a tinfoil hat wearing crazy person. Okay, look, this does not help my case right now, but the point is, as we get deeper into this version of the internet, the people coming up now, the children who these companies claim they are trying to protect, are not going to know anything else. And
yeah, so he's talking about how this could become normalized among younger kids. They're playing 4D chess here, dude, we can't even comprehend. Yeah, the pedophiles are making laws to target your children by claiming that they're protecting your children. But no, this could become normalized, and we have the same thing with if you remember social security numbers, for example. So back in the day, like in your grandparents' great-grandparents' day, social security numbers were not a thing, because that was, before social security was really even a thing. And then they introduced social security, and suddenly it becomes effectively your government serial ID. Your social security number is now literally you are literally your social security number. This was never supposed to be normalized like this. And now we all act like, oh, it's totally normal to have a government serial number. And eventually that's what they're doing with Internet ID here, is they're trying to normalize it.
It might be really the only reasonable way, they think, to gain access to some of these things, or they're just not aware of the risks yet, because it does take a certain level of maturity and of being around the block for a while on the internet to really understand just how truly absolutely fucked you are the minute you put one piece of information like an ID literally anywhere, because it's game over after that. You cannot put that genie back in the bottle once it's out. The best thing you can do is try to mitigate how many other sites have access to that type of information, but it's better to never upload it at all to anything for these types of services in particular. And we think the kids that they claim they're protecting are exactly the ones who are going to fall prey to this, because they won't know any better when they hit 18 or 16 or whatever the magical date range year is that these companies dictate is okay for you to start using the special feature that you want, or X number of verified adults who are assuredly not bots. This also looks good for interested investors. Speaking of which, this world.
So he's talking about how this might be tied to them trying to do an IPO at some point soon. So that's that. So we're going to jump into a little bit more about Persona. While Persona is no longer in use by Discord, you should still be concerned about Persona. So these guys, for example, They found a bunch of stuff for KYC, know your customer, which I am very much against KYC in general. And it turns out that there are a lot of these companies associated with Persona. And surprise, surprise, it's all feds. So they're sending, you know, whatever your verification info is, they're sending it off to the government and using AI to tie your financial records to it. So there's a whole write-up. It's a little bit... It's very technical, so it probably won't... Yeah, so... Let's see. Yeah. So these guys are explaining how they dug into Persona and how it was used. And through all this digging, you know, they're behind Cloudflare. And they found that their API documentation offers this level of information. So a company can get all your data if you use whenever you ID verify. And of course, they have a government login. So literally they're just handing your data off to feds. I wonder if this is what Fallen Angel was specifically talking about. So yeah, they're just handing your code over to the feds. Or handing your info over to the feds. And, you know, they're really detailing all of this. They're really going into, like, all the technical APIs and everything that they were digging through. But yeah, in short, they're handing... as soon as you do any of this ID verification stuff, your data is being handed off to the US government. So, yeah. And it gets worse. So here's a list of companies using Persona here. Even though Discord isn't. So what companies use Persona for age verification? You set your ID to any of these companies, then the government has all your info. So here's, this isn't even all of them, this is just some of them. OpenAI, Coursera, Twilio, Square. So, you know, if you're using ChatGPT and you age verified, you're screwed. Coffee Meets Bagel, so if you're using that, I think it's a dating app, you're screwed. Nextdoor, Okta, LinkedIn. So if you're just trying to get a job and you verify your identity, you're screwed. Same with Twitch. Roblox, you know, the platform known for pedophiles. What else? Playboy, that's a funny one. Robinhood. Just getting worse with Robinhood. And yes, Discord previously was. These fuckers. Yeah, oh, it gets worse. Get back. Alright, yeah, so we're just going over companies that are still using Persona here. So yeah, if you have a LinkedIn account and you verified your identity, the entire US government has your data. But yes, wait, there's more. For the cherry on top here. You know what would actually be an excellent company to make a very solid Discord alternative? I'm curious. Valve and Steam. I could see it. I would prefer something open source, though. You know, something decentralized and open source. But, here we go. So, this is Twitter. This is Twitter's page. Twitter uses ID verification for blah, 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 blah. Which third-party processor do we use? We use Persona. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? They make a fuckload of half money already. Yeah, but I'm saying that it would be good if it were some kind of open source decentralized thing, because it's good to give users the ability to control how the platform works. Yeah, so even Twitter itself uses persona for ID verification, so fun. And on that note, we have a semi-related story here on age verification. Can we just live and have fun on the internet without these people being on our ass for everything? No, these are the Karens, these are the globalists. They all want to come after you. Twitter sucks. Yeah, it does. It does. So, Wisconsin, Republicans in Wisconsin are trying to pull Internet ID. But even worse, they're effectively trying to ban VPNs. Which is a real problem because companies also use VPNs to do stuff. So enjoy that. Yo, if you're in Wisconsin, I am so sorry. You're getting screwed even harder than you would be in Texas, Florida, and Oklahoma here. You know, based Republicans, right? We're supposed to pretend that Republicans are all totally based and perfect. Properly free open source would be much better, but Steam would be excellent since they don't strictly need to sell user data to finance their servers. They don't need to, but there is nothing preventing Steam from doing so if they want more money. Glad I tuned in from my Black Pill show. Well, okay, we're going to end on something good. All right, we're going to end on something positive. So don't worry. I think we'll save the Jeremy Renner thing for next time, because that's really funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, so just really quick, we'll touch on some Epstein stuff here. XQC's recent clips of him sucking ass at Deadlock. I don't follow XQC, so I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about. After saying it's a bad game. Sounds like DSP. Okay, so the other day, the DOJ were ordered by Congress to send a report with basically all this important information. And people saw this memo that they sent over. Neither do I, but I do follow Deadlock, and XQC's absolute dog shit at the game. Cheese. So the government sent over this document saying, here's a list of all government officials and politically exposed persons in the released materials. And so it's just people who are vaguely politically relevant. And that happen to have their names in the document, right? So there are just a ton of people in here. Beyonce is named for some reason. Oh yeah, Jay-Z. But in addition to, people like, where's his name? In addition to people like Les Wexner, who was very clearly involved, or like Donald Trump, or anyone like that, Joe Biden. They also name people who have no business really being involved with Epstein. There's no way that these people were involved with Epstein. For instance, where is she? AOC. For some reason, AOC is named in the files. Now, she is too young to have had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Or Thomas Massey is named in here. Literally the guy who has been screaming about getting the Epstein files released. Why? Because this is not anything close to a client list. This is literally just a list of every single person whose name appears anywhere in the Epstein files and emails. So it literally could just be somebody that Epstein and his associates were talking about, and they just dumped their names in here. Like Alex Jones, his name is in here. I think it's pretty obvious Alex Jones has nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein, right? Yeah, I should expect as much from the guy who lost his chess speedrun to Mush Critical. Beyonce would be an obvious one. Yeah, her and Jay-Z are in there. Doesn't this also apply from linking articles and shit? Yeah, yeah. It's literally anybody who just happens to have their name present in the files. So it could be anybody who is being talked about, who is like a public figure, effectively. This is just like a complete random list of people who just happen to have been mentioned in the files in some way. And people are turning around and saying, oh, they released the Epstein client list, guys, and we're supposed to pretend that that's what this is. When it's not. It's totally not. It's just a whole bunch of random stuff. Trying to muddy the water, or is this routine? No, they're muddying the water. That's what this is. They are trying to muddy the water. And they even got, like, Alex Jones. They actually got Alex Jones when this was first released. I saw a tweet about it. Alex tweeted out, and he actually thought it was the list for a second. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I think... On that note, I think it is time for the white pill segment here. So I want to preface this by saying this is not like, are you sure about Alex? I've seen people say he's even controlled opposition. If there's anybody who I believe is not controlled opposition, it is Alex. Like, that guy's been calling this stuff out for so long. Alex Jones is probably the last person that I would believe actually did anything wrong. I thought this was the white pill segment. I was like, damn, what a white pill. No, don't worry. This is the white pill segment. So, I want to preface this by saying this is not like massively relevant, or this is not... What's going on in this story is maybe not the most useful type of noticing, but what's happening is people are actually waking up because of the Epstein files. They're actually waking up and starting to notice and ask questions about things. And these are average people, not people who pay attention to this stuff all the time. These are like random, just like random families and such. Like back when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, everyone's like, oh, it's so different now. Everything's different. Nothing's going to be the same. And now who actually, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to insult him when I say this, but who actually cares about Charlie Kirk anymore? Nobody. The only people still talking about him are people who think there's a conspiracy, which I mean, there probably is. And then the political grifters. But beyond that, nobody's talking about Charlie Kirk anymore. We forgot, like, it's exactly as I predicted. A couple months later, we all forget. We all pretend it never happened. Just like everything else. But, for once, something is actually happening. There is widespread noticing going on. And so that's what this story is going to be about. I believe Alex has not controlled opposition more than Fuentes just because there was more time. No, it's more because Alex is almost always right. And he never really does anything that would go against that credibility. Like, there's nothing he has ever said that would make me think he's a Fed, I still see people wanting to close their eyes to all this. It's sad. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there are definitely people like this, but there are more people waking up, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that went away real fast. Memory like goldfish. Yeah, exactly. I called it. And as usual, I was right. They're turning the friggin' frogs gay. Yeah, well, he was right about that, too. Exactly. They found frogs were changing. Yep. He was right again. Exactly. They found that the atrazine was turning male frogs female. Where the clockwork elves? What? So did Synthetic Man. He was saying the same when it went down and took shit, but also right. Yeah. Yeah, I can't watch Synthetic Man too much because he and I share a lot of the same opinions on this stuff. On a lot of stuff. But yeah. Yeah, completely right. I called it like the week we were talking about it. Like the week it happened, I called it. And everyone was like, oh no, how can you say that? Oh, you just think nothing ever happens. Oh, Oh, even the guy who was you remember the guy in the Melee Discord had that meltdown over simping. The guy who's like a Navy SEAL or whatever. He's like, yeah, nothing ever happens, and he showed me something about some guy getting beaten up in a protest. And I'm like, no, I'm saying that on a widespread scale, this is going to die off very soon, just like everything else. I was right, as usual. I got a lot of flack for it, but I was right. It's sad. But here's something that is actually happening. So, I did not see that. Yeah, I think it was a little before you showed up, Random Lulz. The one who said Muslims are always a net benefit. Did he say that? I don't even remember that part. Yeah, exactly. The copy pasta Navy SEAL post guy, yeah. Yeah, that guy. Oh, man. Yeah, so what's going on here is across the country, a bunch of families are contacting schools, and schools are canceling their school picture days over the Epstein files. Now, this may sound like complete and utter nonsense to you, which, understandable. But the link here is a very prominent company. That's why he spasmed to me. A very prominent company called LifeTouch. It's already a suspicious name right there, right? Like they're life touching your kids. They were the ones who took my school pictures as well. So, I was life touched as a kid. But LifeTouch, they take school photos for a lot of schools. This company is owned by another company called Shutterfly, and Shutterfly is itself owned by a private equity firm. And the private equity firm was run/owned by a guy named Leon Black, who is a prominent Epstein associate. So that's the connection here. So I'll let them explain in detail on this little news report here.
Moving on, though, a Northern California school district is reassuring parents and others are canceling school picture days, all because of a rumor being circulated online.
That conspiracy links the Epstein files and one of the nation's largest school photography companies.
ABC 7 Eyewitness News reporter Tim Johns explains the new Picture Day privacy debate.
LifeTouch, one of the most prominent school photography companies in the country, is facing district investigations and canceled school photo days. It's all because of an unsubstantiated rumor spreading online. It claims the former CEO of LifeTouch's ownership group, who was named in the Epstein files, may have
agency kind of makes sense to talk about this the other time. Kinda.
accessed children's photos. The rumors have caused concern among parents around files. It claims the former CEO of LifeTouch's ownership group, who was named in the Epstein files, may have accessed children's photos. The rumors have caused concern.
So there you go. The CEO, Leon Black, is the guy's name. They believe he may have accessed LifeTouch photos. Now, this doesn't quite add up because of the timings. The guy actually is not at the private equity firm anymore.
Concern among parents around the country, from Texas.
Talking to my mom, she said that LifeTouch took my pictures whenever I was little. So this has been going on for decades, where no one really thought anything of it until we started thinking about, okay, wait, who actually is seeing these pictures instead of just the parents?
To here in California. Just this week, a school district in Salinas sent this letter to families addressing the rumor and saying it was untrue. LifeTouch, too, has responded, releasing a statement which reads in part, LifeTouch is not named in the Epstein files. The documents contain no allegations that LifeTouch itself was involved in or that student photos were used in any illicit activities.
Right. Yeah, the name LifeTouch sounds a bit creepy as a name on its own. I was like, did he? Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, like I just said, I was LifeTouched as a kid, right?
Despite the pushback against the alleged Epstein connections, other concerns have emerged too. Specifically, conversations around data privacy and how your information and photos might be used.
You want to know who owns those photos, and that's typically done by contract, and what can be done with the photos later between you and the photographer.
Stephen Clark is a South Bay-based attorney. He says it's important to read the fine print on consent forms for things like school photo shoots.
So they're talking about something not really related, but it's good to be aware of. Yeah, so most likely the photos that are taken are not owned by you. You know, the photos of your kid are not owned by you. They're owned by LifeTouch and or the school. So you don't have the rights to your own photo there. Yep. Oh shit, Salinas, I was possibly life touched as well as a kid. Yeah, they're huge. It's a huge company. Yeah, for sure. When normies start to notice and ask questions and the conspiracy theorists aren't just crazy talk, there might be some hope. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. That's why I wanted to save this for the white pill segment.
Tech expert Ahmed Banafa agrees, especially given the chance of a data breach.
About 5 million pictures being sold on the dark web in 2023.
Banafa says LifeTouch has taken important steps to ensure its data isn't shared with third parties. He also says in California, consumers are protected legally.
This privacy law in California is new, so it's really taking into consideration all the advancement in technology.
LifeTouch says you can fill out a form to request to have your child's data deleted if you choose. In San Francisco, Tim Johns, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, and of course the comment section's here. Just straight up lying about this. They're in fact Epstein was director of one of his companies. So here's I have an article as well that mentions why the timing doesn't quite add up. So the guy was involved. It's just that the timing of when he was involved and when the companies were owned, that doesn't really work out. So here's what's going on. So Leon Black, the former CEO of the private equity firm that owns Shutterfly. Here we go. So Leon Black was the CEO and co-founder of Apollo Global Management. They acquired LifeTouch in 2019 when they bought Shutterfly. And I don't know when Shutterfly bought LifeTouch, but it was before that. It's new, so they were not secure before. So do they have a point? So they do have a point in this. Yeah, the ownership of the photos is really the bigger concern here. But yeah, so people are actually waking up. The white pill for me really here is that people are actually seeing the Epstein file stuff and they're actually waking up and saying, hey, we got to do something about it. You know, we actually should do something. Our kids are actually possibly in trouble. You know, it's not like the internet ID crap where, oh, you just have to hand over your ID to protect the children. It's like, no, my kids actually could be having their photos handed off to some pedophile. So, yeah, so LifeTouch itself isn't mentioned in the Epstein files, that's true. But Leon Black is. The thing is, so within these 2 years, I suppose there could have been something. And, you know, maybe Leon Black has some backdoor connections still going through. Yeah, exactly. Like, you think you might still have contacts to get those photos out. Oh, are you saying, should we do an early life check? Fractured? Let's see here. Early life. You called it. You called it.
You can find this out by checking the early life section of their Wikipedia pages.
Oh, you cheated. I gotcha. You cheated. Fractured cheated. Interesting. Shutterfly is supposed to be stock photos. Who's to say they aren't using kids' pictures and some of that? I mean, they could be. They do more than stock photos. They're actually a pretty massive company. They do like framing and stuff too. But yeah, so he may still have access to these photos. So it's not cheating to get the facts straight. Must be honest in reporting these subversives. Fair. But yeah, so people are noticing this and they're actually waking up and saying, hey, this Epstein-related guy could have the ability to get my kids' photos, so I don't want any part of this. And schools are actually canceling their school picture day because of this. Like, that's what I find really uplifting, is that for once, people are actually waking up to something that is at least tangentially important. Yeah, so when you were a kid, LifeTouch probably wasn't really an issue at all. But nowadays, yeah, so after the 2019 buyout, that's probably when it makes sense to be concerned. Yeah, me too, finally paying attention to stuff. Yep. Nice. Yeah. Always got to notice. So, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, people are waking up, finally. Something is finally happening. And you know what? We got a little more time. So how about we do one more white pill? I don't know if you guys are going to consider this one a white pill, but I do. I wouldn't be surprised if there were always a problem with how long Epstein was active. The question is, did LifeTouch have any other Epstein connections? And, you know, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But there was nothing as prominent as this Leon Black connection here. So here's my, here's a new white pill. I find this a white pill. So it is the death of self-checkout machines. I am so excited. I love this, because I hate self-checkouts with a burning passion. I hate to go all boomer here, but if I'm checking out my own groceries, you should be paying me.
Self-checkout, the futuristic shopping experience, failed. And I'm calling it here. Walmart, Target, Amazon, and every other store will not have self-checkout as we know it by 2030 because
basically everybody on Earth is stealing from self-checkout. There also used to
So the niggers may be making the checkout experience better. So somehow we have to actually thank you niggers, for improving our self-checkout, for improving the checkout experience. I hate self-checkout because they won't let me buy beer from them. I don't buy beer, but I hate when stores don't have self-checkout. Oh, you're one of those people, Neo? No, I hate the self-checkout. I hate it. I hate it so much. You just saw the... Yeah, that's who it was. Folsom, yeah. Yeah, that dude had just a total meltdown on Twitter. Or, in Discord, I mean. Self-checkout, the gateway to theft. Oh, yeah.
There used to be an entire subreddit trading tips on how to steal from self-checkout.
Self-checkout, something getting stolen. It don't matter what. I don't care about the camera. I don't care if you are recording. Something in the basket has to be stolen.
I don't know.
Yes, I openly say words. It's a good filter. It's a good way to filter out the easily offended. My store has had a lot of theft problems because of self-checkout. It's not just the 1350s. I've heard our security people catch those reseller Pokemon card fix stealing others. Hey, they probably sold those Pokemon cards to the quartering.
Are you?
No!
Are you joking?
No!
Are you joking me?
I prefer self-checkout, but I hate when people steal or when the cash register locks and I need to wait for someone. Yeah, I mean, if I have like one thing, then sure, I get it. But otherwise, no, I hate it. They lessen the queue, at least here, where there's like one chick working cashier, so that makes sense, but it's so easy to steal from them. They don't do that here. Has to be stolen. Yeah, you know, he's of a certain ethnic persuasion, right? I hate having to wait in line for the employee because there's never enough lanes open and they're slow as fuck. I can check myself out in a fraction of the time it takes them. See, so here, the lines for self-checkout are always massive. People in the self-checkouts are very slow. And then there's like very few people in the actual checkout lanes. So it is actually faster for me to go to the like manned register to check out almost all the time. Plus, I don't want to be doing all that work. Let them handle the checkout and the bagging. You know, it's not my job. It's a possibility they did. Yeah, well, quartering was probably sold as cards by resealers. Thing is, Walmart knows when you steal, they let you get away with a little bit so they can then pick you up when the amount stolen becomes a larceny charge. I was just watching a few videos about this the other day. Yeah, so they track you. That's what the cameras are for. They track you. And this is like, they use AI recognition and all that stuff to track you, how much you're stealing and so on. And then, yeah, they will eventually come after you. I know from Security 2, some 1350 Shibuns went through a regular check lane and were sneaking shit to their car while the person ringing them out was distracted. Yeah, they do that. You remember during the Kung Flu era, all the you had all the future doctors and lawyers basically mobbing stores and stealing stuff and running away, like literal mobs of future doctors and lawyers. running in, overwhelming the store, stealing a bunch of stuff, and then running out.
I don't know, man. Stealing is bad enough, but putting it out there for millions to see is insane. There was a study.
It's retarded, is what it is.
With a bunch of shoppers where 27% of shoppers admitted to stealing at self-checkout on purpose. People feel way less accountable interacting with a machine instead of a human watching them like a hawk. Or they think to themselves, it's a big corporation, they'll be okay. Target lost $500 million in sales from self-checkout theft in a year. They're not okay. And out of the people intentionally stealing, 31% of them say they felt no regret doing it. And 55%.
Yep, we even protected our store blocking it a couple nights just in case we had that issue happen. Eesh. And let's be clear. Let's be fair. They're just reclaiming what they're owed. Reparations. Yeah. I've brought this up multiple times, but there is literally a book written by one of these people called In Defense of Looting. So one of the 1350s literally wrote an entire book called In Defense of Looting during the St. Floyd riots. Frankly, Target can go fuck itself. The social checkout theft is not okay, but I have negative sympathy for Target. What, you don't like Imp? You don't like tuck-friendly bathing suits? You know?
55% of them said they would do it again, with the majority of them being men, specifically young men around the millennial to Gen Z age. And you're not safe, I know.
Conveniently, he doesn't mention what color these men are, does he? Personal anecdote here, when I was in the Navy, there was an incident. Well, see, now I'm curious, when you say there was an incident, was it with the future doctors and lawyers, or was it some kind of incident with Target? Did you see the book called Black Supremacy, and the author was arguing to another black man that he wasn't racist while he held up the book? Oh, that's hilarious. No, I haven't seen that. That's hilarious. I'm on the fence about small theft, like if it's food and you need it, especially if they lock their dumpsters, that store is ripe for pocketing. Well, that's not really the situation we're talking about here, you know? We're not talking about, like, you have to... You're just trying to survive, that kind of thing. These are just people who just want to steal crap. We know exactly what they look like. Yeah, exactly. It was Target. What happened to you?
If I know you're a part of that group. Craziest part is that it's not just low-income households. People from every tax bracket are blaming inflation for the key essentials being unaffordable, which I get it, but you will never catch me logging into a survey app, entering my phone number, race, age, email, state, city, and more, to then admit that I plan to steal again. Like, that's still a crime. Slow down. And with thousands of these machines getting shut down all around the world, people have some strong opinions. A lot of people liked it because it was quick for small purchases, gave customers control over bagging so they don't come home with broken eggs, and it helped with social anxiety since it doesn't force you to talk to anyone.
Please wait. Help is on the way.
But there's also...
Yeah, you don't have to talk to anyone, right? Until the machine decides not to work. Hey, the point where it's like cosmetics and shit. Nah, fuck that. Yeah, they're always stealing like sneakers and whatnot. Keep in mind, this is a military town in Silverdale, Washington. Alright.
There's also the group who's in between. They like a healthy balance of both. They'll take it when they actually work, but they don't mind stopping by the cashier since that's what they're used to. Then there's the negative reviews. These people hated self-checkout for reducing jobs overall, having extremely small bagging areas, and of course, feeling like unpaid labor. Like how this Reddit...
See? He's talking about me. People feel like unpaid labor.
Extremely small bagging areas, and of course, feeling like unpaid labor. Like how this Reddit user stated, it feels weird doing all this work while an actual cashier is just standing there. I didn't come to the grocery store to work a part-time job. Why am I scanning and bagging my own stuff like I'm on payroll? This is the usual argument most people use, because it's a valid point. So I decided to put that idea to the test. What would happen if stores suddenly added discounts whenever you use self-checkout, aka paying you for work? How much would you actually get paid? Well, it's different for each store because cashiers get paid different amounts and scan at different speeds. For instance, the fastest growing grocery chain in the US that I also happen to work at Aldi. Aldi cashiers get paid $19 on average, and they scan extremely fast. So including all the time they spend waiting on customers, Aldi cashiers scan about 20 items per minute, meaning you could get paid 1.58 cents for every item you scan at Aldi. Now, let's say you scan, that's almost a whole $1 difference. And I know you might be a little confused how you get paid more from Walmart, so let me break it down. Walmart cashiers technically get paid more for the work they do. Aldi workers scan fast like their life is on the line, because it is, which is why they get paid less per item scanned. But because they scan so freaking fast, they make more than Walmart employees per hour. And here's another thing, Aldi is way cheaper than Walmart. So let's go back to the 100.
Why do we care about this so much? That's not really the relevant part. I don't really care about the prices.
Item scan thing. Buying 100 groceries.
And then I'll read your story once you get it all out. Yeah, I see your post, but I'll just wait till you finish. Right, you got baggers, self checkout. It's actually more convenient to bag yourself, so you can go from the cart to the bag and not have everything squished by the case of beer. I guess so. I mean, I still prefer letting them bag. I just make sure that I put everything on the conveyor belt in the right order, so that they don't put anything, they don't put anything heavy on top of something that could get easily crushed.
Groceries at Aldi costs about $260 on average, while buying 100 groceries at Walmart costs about $350 on average. Now that's nearly a $100 difference, meaning Aldi would be better for bigger purchases, and Walmart would be better for smaller purchases. But either way, they'd never do that. Aldi would lose $85 million per day, and Walmart would lose $346 million per day. That would be what we call insane. Even if you shrink that amount by 10 times, that's still a lot of money. They could raise all their prices by just enough to balance things out, but then nobody would use the cashier lanes, meaning more people would use self-checkout machines, which is overall more stealing. Or people would just stop shopping at these stores altogether, going still a lot of money. They could raise all their prices by just enough to balance things out, but then nobody would use the cashier lanes, meaning more people would use self-checkout machines, which is overall more stealing. Or people would just stop shopping at these stores altogether, going on strike for unfair prices. The way things are right now, it just won't work out, which is exactly why Dollar General reduced their machines in 12,000 stores. Walmart cut them down a lot, specifically in Ohio and Missouri. Target's implemented a 10-item limit for self-checkout machines. Aldi removed...
I actually think that's a great way to do it, to just make self-checkout machines 10 items or less or whatever, basically treat them like express lanes. Because yeah, if you're just going and you're just picking up a couple items, maybe a thing of milk and something else. You just gotta pick up something like your milk, some bread, whatever. Then yeah, that's self-checkout's pretty reasonable for that. But if I'm like buying like my whole week's worth of groceries, I would really, really rather just have someone else handle it. Seen that in my local Winco where the self-checkout are either 10 to 15 item limit. Yeah, and that's reasonable, right? That is pretty reasonable. If you wanted something funny, I posted something related to what I mentioned in the Discord. Alright, I can take a look. I see, I think Imp's wrote the story. Alright, so... Imp's story. A woman's husband was killed in action overseas. The town government and her husband's command worked with her to hold their regular ceremony and such for her. Very standard, normal, respectful. 2 in the afternoon, 10 people showed up. Representative from the command, town police officer, family members, and so on. In the middle of everything happening, 2 Target employees walk out. Master parking lot, almost empty. Everyone's on the four corner of the lot. Ask what's going on. Okay, so far that's fine. And they say, I'm sorry, but you can't park here. And the wife almost immediately starts breaking down. Yeah. You can have a little sympathy, I suppose. When challenged by the wife, interrupting the entire ceremony, they went back into the store and got the general manager who came out and said, you can't park here unless your customers. Jeez. After a lengthy freakout, the police stepped in to handle the situation. News spread like wildfire. I basically refused to go back to Target after that. Yeah, it's understandable. But, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah. it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, legally they're probably in the right, but I mean, they're not being very reasonable. Not to mention if like the whole town set this thing up. I mean, yeah, it's all good by the town, so why not? Although it does make me wonder if anyone actually told the target about this in the first place. Anyway, so I need more H1Bs. Ugh. We don't need H1Bs. Only time I've hit self-checkout is when it's 2 items and I'm running on my break. Otherwise, I'll always use employee checkout preferably. Yeah, exactly. I would only use self-checkout if it's like 1 or 2 things, you know. That's about right. Yeah. That's basically just bureaucrats in the end. Let's see, what did... where did you post? I don't see it, Randomals. Oh, the black. Yeah, Jesse. Okay, yeah, I know who Jesse Lee Peterson is. Yeah. That's cool. It's in shit posting, but it's good play for like 3 seconds. Yeah. I'll take a look at it later.
We removed self-checkout from a lot of stores, including mine. Costco just hired thousands of cashiers. Five Below shifted to shopper-assisted checkouts.
Well, isn't that great? Costco is just making jobs. They're taking out the self-checkout. They're making new jobs.
To reduce theft. And Amazon Go, the just walk out grocery store, has shut down all their locations this month. If you're not aware...
You guys remember Amazon Go? They said it was all AI and algorithms, and it turned out it was just Indians watching you through the cameras.
Amazon Go is supposed to be the future of grocery shopping. You literally just walk in, scan your QR code, simply grab the item you want, and walk out. They claim to use computer vision, learning algorithms, and sensor fusion to tell what items you grabbed and automatically add it to your cart.
You want me to just take something and walk out?
Costco self-checkouts are the actual worst. Yeah, I've rarely been to Costco, so I don't really remember them. Well, I don't think we used them when I was there, so.
Automatically added to your cart.
You want me to just take something and walk out? Nah, son.
It's so convenient.
No. Let's try.
They only had 14 locations, and they were in the US and UK. But that was enough to have every other grocery store sweating. Jeff Bezos' plan was to have every store implement this technology and pay him a small percent on all sales. Things were looking good for them. That is, until they reached their first major issue, upscaling. Apparently their learning algorithms couldn't even get advanced enough to get a little bit bigger. So there was no way this technology could possibly work for a store the size of Walmart or Target. So they shut down the entire operation, including their 14 stores as of February 2026. Yet, they didn't leave grocery completely. They decided to put those
Yeah, he didn't mention the Indians.
efforts into buying out Whole Foods, which is a higher-end grocery store with over 400 stores in the US and yada yada yada. But overall, goes to show you that even this futurized self-checkout technology doesn't work.
8 years later, we know now that the supposed groundbreaking technology behind Amazon Go was not actually real. All Amazon had done was to replace local human cashiers with 1,000 remote workers in India who had to manually review the footage to see what items customers actually picked up and walked out with. 7 out of
So like I said, it was actually Indians.
No!
Are you?
No!
Are you joking?
No!
Are you joking me?
7 out of every 10 transactions needed to be manually
Indian
verified by this
security
remote
service,
team, meaning only 30% of the sales were actually automated.
Are we serious? No wonder you couldn't upscale, you scummy mother. Now, this definitely shows we are a long way from self-checkout being the new way of shopping. For the customers, self-checkout still has super long lines, especially for large carts. Some stores implemented a system for their bagging area where it would constantly say, error, unexpected item in the bagging area. The scales inside the machines are super inconsistent. Alcohol or other age-restricted items still need an employee to run over and check your age. And the constant monitoring makes some customers
Wasn't there another company with this, or was this the big one? This was the big one. I'm actually not sure if there was anything else quite on this level. You must be ashamed of your people. Yes, but I'm even more ashamed of Amazon for hiring.
Customers feel watched and uncomfortable. And it wasn't much better for the companies. These one-time purchase self-scan machines were supposed to save companies millions in labor, but in fact it still costs a lot of money and more headaches. They constantly require maintenance, not if, but when they malfunction. They update every day because stores are constantly making changes with their prices, seasonal items, and new deals that the machines need to know about. Or Carrie would be pissed that she didn't save 2 cents on her strawberries. They had nothing to stop people from stealing since half the employees were scrolling TikTok anyways, and the cameras don't scare anybody, proving my point that every self-checkout machine will be gone by 2030 if they stay the way they are right now. If these big companies...
How much did you pay for your work for Costco? Do you mean Amazon? Because Amazon's the one I was talking about with the Indians. But I actually have a story. I think I've told this story before. So I actually went to one of the first Amazon Go stores when they first opened. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah. So when I went to that first Amazon Go store, like when it opened, there were some Amazon engineers in the corner that were like observing the whole thing. And so, I went up to them and I was like, hey, are you guys planning to like, show us the technology or like tell us more about how this technology works or anything like that in the future? And they just kind of sheepishly looked at each other and just kind of shrugged and went, oh, no, probably not, no. Now I know why. Now we know why they were so afraid to show off the technology. There was no technology. It was just Indians. No.
Companies want to keep self-checkout. A solid first step is to put an item limit for how many items you can scan at self-checkout, like Target with the 10-item limit. This would ensure that people who go in for a couple things can get in and out. However, this doesn't solve the entire problem because the weekly shoppers trying to feed their families are going to be stuck in huge lines. So the next move is to make self-checkout membership only, where companies reward shoppers when they use it.
Or here's a fantastic idea. Just open up more cashier lanes. Like every store has like at least 10 lanes for cashiers, like manned cashiers. But they only ever have like 1 or 2 of them open at a time. Just have those cashier lanes manned. Hire cashiers. That is literally the solution.
It's not directly paying customers, but it would at least make them feel like they're getting something back for the absolute bag-breaking labor they're putting in. And hopefully 55% of people wouldn't publicly state that they're going to steal again. But that's only a hope. This doesn't absolutely stop that. So how do stores solve this breaking labor they're putting in? Membership only, where companies' rewards be stuck in huge lines. So the next move is to make self-checkout membership only, where companies reward shoppers when they use it. It's not directly paying customers, but it would at least make them...
So pay for a membership to be able to do work on behalf of the company that you are paying a membership to? Yeah, that's a great business model.
Feel like they're getting something back for the absolute bag-breaking labor they're putting in. And hopefully 55% of people wouldn't publicly state that they're going to steal again. But that's only a hope. This doesn't absolutely stop theft. So how do stores solve this problem? Well, they need to do what Sam's Club is doing. They use something called Scan and Go, which is literally scanning all your items yourself through their app. Then you go through this big AI scanner by the exit that automatically scans everything in your cart. Sam's Club will typically have 2 people standing there just checking to see if you scanned everything or...
First of all, I don't think those 2 people are really paying attention. Second of all, I think this is really obnoxious. I really would not want to deal with this. I mean, like, people are going to forget to scan things. You just know. You just know people are going to be not paying attention and forgetting to scan things. And they're going, oh, you're stealing. But it's like, no, I literally just forgot. Like early access, you pay the big corpo to become a beta tester. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. People pay for that crap.
Or made a mistake, quote unquote. And it is so smooth. The employees just scan your receipt and you move on with your life. And if you try to lie about it, the employees will get a screenshot of the item you stole circled, and they'll stop you in the line. Most stores haven't implemented this because of how expensive it is, since some stores obviously don't bring in as much money as Sam's Club. Other stores have multiple exits, don't have a membership to identify people, and don't have an app where people can scan their own items, which I understand. But I believe if they get someone smarter than me to come up with a solution for all stores using this technology, that will be the future of self-checkout in stores. But we might have to wait until next year for someone to get...
The black lady's having to catch the white lady stealing. Yeah. Yeah, ironic, isn't it?
Get motivated enough to do it though, because we all know the new year, new me motivation hits different. Watch this video to learn more about the new year, new me epidemic.
So yeah, self-checkouts might be going away, which would be just absolutely wonderful. So, you know, there's your second white pill for the day. Your ironic white pill. Ironically, the future doctors and lawyers may be saving us from self-checkout. There you go. We got two black pills. We got two white pills today. So I hope you're feeling a little better. Yeah, we'll save the Jeremy Renner bit and the food stuff for next time. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for that. That's a black pill for you? Oh, no. Oh, come on. Come on. We may see more manned cash registers, which I would love. But, you know, at least you got the Epstein photo one. You know, you got the photos one. That's a bit of a white pill for you. But yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap up here for today. I need to get back into Voop chat at some point. I do need to get back to you, Voop chat, at some point, because I haven't done it in a while. I know they had their Mentor Monday this week, and I wasn't able to make it. Next week, probably same time, same kind of stream, and then we'll see. Depending on how some of this job stuff goes, I may need to change up my stream schedule a bit, but we'll see. You know, if I get a real job, you know, then we'll see. So, you know, we'll see how it all goes. More hot ladies as registers. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have, you know, I'm hoping for more cute cashiers to be hard to shout up. Hey, I would love to have cute cashiers, because all we get are, like, Somalians and old people. All right, Jerry's out. Thanks for hanging out, Jerry. Jim's K streaming tonight? Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll probably check that out. Yeah, I'll probably, you know what I'll probably do? I will make my chocolate low-calorie M&M McFlurry, and I will eat that while I watch the stream. Because I prepped some last night, so it should be good to go tonight. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm gonna be eating some Raisin Canes for dinner. So yeah, it's pretty good, and it's only like what 300. It's only about 350 calories for like an entire 24-ounce pint. So yeah, it's pretty solid. So I'm excited about that. Oh, by the way, I changed my outro animation, so check that out when we close up here. Let me see if there's someone we can raid on Rumble, by the way. I see Paul is streaming. Darkside Paul? Yeah, we got Darkside Paul streaming here. Well, we'll raid Paul. GG White Pill, you convinced me to like the stream. We support DSP Batman. Yes, well, thank you for saying that, by the way. Yes, Paul's streaming. So we will raid him on Rumble, and I will post a link to Paul on YouTube as well. So I'll give you a sec to find. Yeah, give me a sec to find the link here. And then... let me play the outro here.
Oh, and one more thing, fucker. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks for streaming. Hey, thank you for being here, Wingus. Always appreciate seeing you guys. All right, so anything else I need to mention? No, I think we're good. Yeah, so that should be it. Let me post the links for the stream, and yeah, I hope you all have a lovely evening. And words all around. Yeah, later, Sergey. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely evening. And I will see you all. You should play more games, otherwise thanks for stream. I might do separate gaming streams, because I think people tend to leave during the games anyway. So I might do separate gaming streams if I get more time. Appreciate the chill streams. I appreciate you guys being here. Alright, so have a lovely evening. You're with Random Moles, self-checkouts going away would suck. I mean, I prefer they just be like express checkouts, you know? But yeah, anyway, so I hope you guys have a lovely evening, and I will catch you all later.